This is the most unsettling online date I've ever been on. Even though it's our first time meeting in person, this girl seems to know my habits like the back of her hand. She's even been incredibly bold in her advances. Whether it's taking the initiative to hold my hand while crossing the street, or while we're watching a movie, she's constantly feeding me snacks in such an intimate way. Something is definitely off with this online friend of mine. On a scale of 1 to 10, her unsettling factor is a solid 9. My name is Qin Guanglin. It's currently 2 p.m. I'm scheduled to meet that online friend at 3 p.m. I still have plenty of time, even though meeting someone from the internet feels a bit sketchy. Since we made plans, it's better to get there early than to cut it close. But why am I so nervous? It's not like this is my first time meeting someone from the web. Although I've only known her for less than half a month, we've already progressed to meeting in real life. You could say we really hit it off. But what is she actually like? In person, she was the one who started the conversation. She was also the one who suggested meeting up. I should probably prepare myself for the disappointment of reality. For all I know, this could be some kind of honey trap scam. I shook my head at the thought and brushed it off. No expectations, no disappointments. I just need to keep my cool. I looked at the chat logs on my phone. After sending her a photo of what I'm wearing today, I decided to head into a bubble tea shop to wait. Since we didn't pick a specific spot, and my outfit is pretty generic, I'll just give her a call when the time comes. Just as that thought crossed my mind, a clear, gentle voice suddenly rang out. Hi. Lin Musinson, is that you? I turned my head to look. A girl with long, flowing hair was standing there gracefully. She wore beige sneakers paired with a pink dress, looking both pure and a bit playful. Her appearance left me a little dazed. Are you Madukai Huey? That's right. Do you want to shake hands? Oh, there's no need to be so formal. Just act natural. It's our first time meeting. And you already want me to link arms with you. I didn't expect someone who looks so honest to be that kind of guy. You're really something else. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You've got me all wrong. I'm just teasing you. Well then, let's go. Let's take a walk around. I watched her slender figure from behind. I suddenly remembered from our chats that she mentioned she was studying in Luocheng and was about to graduate. No wonder she wanted to meet here. My name is Qin Guanglin. And you? My name is Fang. Nice to meet you, Qin Guanglin. Nice to meet you too. I stared at Fang for a moment, a bit stunned. This situation wasn't at all what I had imagined. Everything seemed to be going incredibly smoothly. Noticing my gaze, Fang gave me a radiant smile. Thanks for accepting my invitation. Let me buy you some bubble tea. Although I didn't know what there was to thank me for, I didn't want to be rude over something so small. Sure, but next time it's my treat. By the way, the tea shop is in the other direction. 2.5 minutes later, we both walked into a bubble tea shop called Golden Kumquat Times. It was as busy as an old-timey household with 5 kids. 1 kumquat lemon tea. Less ice, less sugar. Make it a large. What about you? A carrot juice, please. After ordering and getting the receipt, we found a seat by the window. Fang took out her phone to check her reflection, using the screen as a mirror to fix her hair. I looked up, stealing a glance at her. Even though we clicked online, she was usually the one driving the conversation. Now that we're face to face, I have absolutely no idea what to say. I have zero experience in this department. The mood is about to tank. What do I do? What do I do? It's not good for a guy to be this passive. I should have scrolled through Xiao Hongshu before coming. I could have learned some basic conversation starters for online dates. Maybe I should make an excuse to go to the bathroom and do a crash course. I should have scrolled through Xiao Hongshu before coming. I could have learned some basic conversation starters for online dates. Maybe I should make an excuse to go to the bathroom and do a crash course? Fang sat across from me with a neutral expression, resting her chin on her hand without saying a word. She just kept staring at me like that. Why do you keep looking at me? I'm reading your face. You know how to do that too. I suddenly got excited hearing that. That's when I finally took a good look at her face. While she wasn't a world-class beauty, she was fair-skinned and elegant. Wait, did you not sleep well last night? As if recalling some unpleasant memory, Fang pulled at the straps of her dress. Right then, a voice called out, "Order's ready." I stood up and said, "I'll go grab them." I went to the counter to pick up our drinks. Even without turning around, I could feel her intense gaze burning into my back. Am I really that handsome? I don't see it. I found it a bit confusing. Don't you have classes today? I'm a literature major. I'm graduating soon, so there aren't many classes left. I'm mostly just working on my thesis now. What about you? Are you working? Let me guess. Something creative? You could say that. I mostly do sketches for clients. I work when there's a job and relax when there isn't. Basically, I'm a freelancer. At that moment, I was silently praying. Even though my job is unstable and doesn't sound like a proper career, I still hoped she wouldn't look down on me. Fang suddenly burst out laughing. This feels like a blind date. What feels like a blind date? I mean, how serious you look. If you'd stop staring at me like that, maybe I'd be a little less serious. After saying that, I took a big gulp of my carrot juice, trying my best to relax. So, what's the verdict on my face reading? Fang gave a charming smile. She smiled so gracefully. On that pure and playful face, a hint of tenderness appeared once more, mixed with an indescribable sense of nostalgia. After a long pause, she spoke slowly. It's very good. Perfect. Half a month later, I was sitting in front of my easel as usual. Over the past few weeks, Fang and I have maintained a frequency of meeting once a week. Just like when we first met online, meeting in person no longer felt as awkward or tense as the first time. This girl gives me a very magical feeling. It's hard to put into words. Beneath her lively, youthful exterior lies a deep understanding and gentleness that makes me feel incredibly comfortable. Ding! My phone on the pallet tray chimed. I picked it up and glanced at it. It was a message from Midu Kai Hui. Are you busy? Want to go see a movie with me? I walked to the window and started typing back. Sure. How about 4 p.m.? Let's meet at Sicheng Square. Okay. Shicheng Square is quite close to Fang's university. It would also be convenient to walk her back after the movie. At that for a moment, a ray of sunlight streamed through the window, shining directly onto the painting on the easel. The painting featured a lovely girl, standing in a flower bed, leaning down to catch their scent, one hand gently tucking a stray lock of hair behind her ear. I smiled softly. I put the painting away and stepped out of the room, ready to wash the paint off my hands. Are you done? Clean up quickly. You're going out with me in a bit. I heard the antique street in Sicheng just got some new stock. Come with me and see if we can find any hidden gems. Auntie Wang told you that, didn't she? I have plans, Mom. Ask her to go with you. I'm busy. Just go with Auntie Wang. What could you possibly be busy with? If she goes with me, she'll snatch up all the good stuff before I can. You're just sitting around anyway. Go out and get some fresh air. Staying cooped up in the house all day will make you sick. I already have a date with a friend. With that, I shut my bedroom door. Even if I were free, I wouldn't go. I have zero interest in those old relics. Strolling through antique stalls is pure torture for me. If my old lady heard that last part, she'd probably pull out that imperial sword she bought at the market and give me a good thwack. Time flew by, and it was already 3:47 p.m. Fang sent a message saying she was almost there. Seeing that, I asked curiously, have you decided on a movie yet? She replied almost instantly. Time flew by, and it was already 3:47 p.m. Fang sent a message saying she was almost there. Seeing that, I asked curiously, have you decided on a movie yet? She replied almost instantly. Terminator Genesis. Do you want to see it? I heard the 3D effects are amazing. I know you like the Terminator series too. I thought you girls would want to see something lighthearted and funny. Fang's answer caught me a bit off guard. The Terminator series is something I've watched every single installment of. I was actually planning to see a light comedy with her, and then drag myself to see this sci-fi flick alone another day. After all, whenever the previous movies came out, the theaters were usually just filled with groups of guys. Feeling a bit puzzled, I scrolled back through our chat history. I didn't realize we had talked this much, but what exactly is my relationship with Fang right now? Are we just friends? Best friends? While I was lost in thought, a girl's figure caught my eye in the distance. Every time I meet Fang, I get this illusion that she actually likes me. She'll look around expectantly, as if searching for something. Then, when she spots me, her eyes widen slightly, and her fair face blooms like a flower, revealing a radiant smile from the bottom of her heart. It's so clear and pure. I don't know if her smile is always like that, or if it's because she saw me. What's this? I promise I'd give it to you. Her reaction was completely different from what I imagined. I thought she'd show more excitement, but she just gave an even sweeter smile. Thank you. You're so close. Too close. Let's go see the movie. Not yet. I need to take this painting back to my dorm first. It'll be a hassle to carry it into the theater. I can hold it for you. It's crowded out here. What if someone bumps into it and ruins it? I sighed softly. I had no choice but to walk with her toward Luocheng University. Luckily, her school was only about a 10-minute walk away, just across one intersection. We should still make it in time for the movie. Before long, we stopped at a traffic light. I looked at her back, then at the wide, empty road. Even though it was clear and there wasn't a single car in sight, she was the same as always, strictly following the traffic rules. That's a very admirable trait. But this virtue comes with a quirk, well, not exactly a flaw. The moment the light turns green, and I take a step forward, she'll unconditionally grab my sleeve as a reflex. Then she'll keep looking both ways to make absolutely sure no cars are coming. I used to wonder if she had witnessed some horrific accident in the past that made her this terrified. As for why I'm not wearing short sleeves in this heat, naturally, it's because I was curious what she'd grab. If there were no sleeves to hold onto, would she grab the hem of my shirt? Thinking about this, I glanced at Fang's profile and realized she was also absent-mindedly looking at me. What are you thinking about? Huh? Nothing. It's nothing. Is that so? Right after that, her right hand, which was clutching my sleeve, suddenly slid down until it was firmly holding my left hand. Her hand was soft and slightly cool. My heart skipped a beat. I had to take a quiet, deep breath. I'm in my 20s, for crying out loud. It's just holding hands. There's no reason to be this tense, but holding hands like this. We've definitely crossed the line of friendship, right? Or have we? We definitely have, haven't we? This online friend I just met in person took the initiative to hold my hand and lead me across the street. I blushed and let out a quiet breath. I'm over 20 years old. It's just holding hands. Why am I so nervous? But still, holding hands like this is more than just being friends. Right? Is it? It has to be, right? Fang looked like she had just discovered something very amusing. She gave a playful little smile. Once we crossed the intersection, she naturally let go of my hand. Are you hungry? Yeah. It's about time for dinner. What do you want to eat? I secretly wiped my hand on my pants. My palm was covered in sweat. How pathetic. In that case, let me suggest a place. Follow me. Fang took the lead. She led Qin Guanglin through a series of left and right turns, finally ducking into a humble little eatery tucked away in a corner of the square. This small restaurant was hidden in a blind spot, not eye-catching at all. I didn't expect you to bring me here. I looked around. Back when I was in university, I used to come here with my friends all the time. The food is delicious, and the portions are huge. Even though I graduated 2 years ago, I still make the effort to come here for a meal once in a while. This place mostly relies on regular customers. I guess I'm one of them. Wait, isn't this Xiao Chen? It's been a while since you've been here. What can I get for you today? Hi, Uncle Xiao. Let us sit down and look at the menu first. Hi, Uncle Xiao. We'll check the menu first. Did you bring your girlfriend for a meal? We're just friends. Haha. I'll leave the tea here. Help yourselves if you want some. Will do. Go ahead with your work, Uncle. Fang picked up the menu and made her choice in a flash. Fang picked up the menu and finished ordering in no time. I've ordered mine. See if you want to add anything else. With that, she picked up the teapot to rinse the utensils for both of us. I glanced at the menu. 1 tilapia. A plate of stir-fried shredded carrots. A plate of smashed cucumbers. These are exactly what I order every single time I come here. Could our tastes really be this identical? Thinking of this, I stood up. Uncle Xiao, I'll have the usual, please. Got it? I'll pick out a nice, plump one for you. I sat back down and watched the girl in front of me intently. For some reason, I felt an indescribable sense of peace deep down. Fang finished setting the table with a faint smile. She pushed the utensils toward me and said, "Thanks for the flowers. You already thanked me earlier. I told you, it's no big deal. Sorry for the wait. Here's the fish. Little lady, the rice is over there. Help yourself, or just make this kid get it for you." Uncle Xiao gave me a wink. Uncle Xiao gave me a knowing wink. I immediately got the hint. I'll go get the rice. You just stay here. Then I'll have to trouble you. Fang didn't seem to be on a diet at all. She polished off a whole bowl of rice, and even asked me for another half bowl. Watching her eat somehow reminded me of the female lead in the manga I've been reading lately. Do you want to order a bowl of soup? No need, the tea is fine. Fang put down her bowl after finishing. Then she picked up a piece of tilapia, carefully removed all the bones, and dropped it into my bowl. This fish is great. You should eat more too. I just stared at her dumbfounded. What? What is this? We've barely met in person a few times, and my online friend is already deboning fish for me. I stared at the piece of fish in my bowl, my brain working at full capacity. Is this okay? Consider it a thank you for the painting. Oh, I see. You really don't have to be so polite. Not knowing how else to react, I just focused on eating. One person picked out bones while the other shoveled rice. Before I knew it, it was time to pay. My treat. Fang pulled out her phone and called out, "Uncle Xiao, check please." No, Uncle Xiao won't take your money. Uncle, let me handle this, haha. That'll be 88 yuan. I'll make it 80 for you. Then I'll buy the movie tickets later. Elsewhere on the antique street, Qin's mother was holding a tiny snuff bottle, walking through the square with a satisfied look alongside Auntie Wang. They were preparing for a triumphant return. Let me play with it for a couple of days. Auntie Wang, empty-handed, looked at the snuff bottle in Qin's mother's hand with envy. In your dreams, this little thing is probably from the late Ming or early Qing dynasty. I need to study it carefully when I get home. Look at you, being so stingy. Humph. Last time I asked to borrow that pipe, you were just as stingy as I am now. That's called, hey, look over there. Auntie Wang cut her off, pointing toward the crowd ahead. Isn't that your son over there? Whoa, it really is him. Let's go over and have him check out my treasure. Wait, who's that girl with him? Hey, Guanglin. Whoops. Hey, what are you pulling me for? Don't you want him to see your treasure anymore? Shh. Let's follow them quietly. Let's see what those two are up to. On the other side, Fang and I had arrived at the cinema in Xicheng. Watching her stand by the automated ticket machine, I hurried over to the popcorn stand. 2 mediums, please. Actually, wait. Make it 1 large bucket. I figured I'd have to buy drinks later anyway, and carrying 2 popcorn buckets would be too much. 2.5 minutes later, Fang finished getting the tickets and walked over. Seeing me clutching a giant bucket of popcorn, she furrowed her brows, looking a bit annoyed. Didn't I say the movie was my treat? We clearly agreed on that. Well, you already bought the tickets, didn't you? Do you want Coke or orange juice? I want bubble tea. The movie doesn't start for another 20 minutes. I'll go to the shop across the street and get some. I'll get yours too. Wait for me here. I nodded, watching her rush off. Suddenly, it hit me. I forgot to tell her to get me a carrot juice. Outside the cinema, Chin's mother and Auntie Wang were about to sneak away. When they saw the girl walk out, the two old ladies exchanged a look. What's going on? Why is she coming out alone? Where's that boy of yours? Who knows? Huh? Could she have spotted us? No way. Maybe she thought we were just some nosy neighbors. You better teach that son of yours some manners when he gets home. He's just sitting inside, while he lets a girl run out to buy tea. That's just not right. But I didn't expect this. Your boy actually managed to sneak out for a movie date. The pig finally learned how to root up a cabbage. I wonder when my boy will ever learn. That girl seems really sweet. Your son is a lucky man. What do you know? Didn't you recognize her just now? I didn't. That boy is being so secretive. I bet you. If I ask him about this tonight, he'll deny everything. Forget it, young people these days value their privacy. Don't go poking around. Let them develop at their own pace. She'll have to face you sooner or later anyway. True. What do I do? What do I do? The first time my online friend asked me to a movie, she leaned in and took a piece of popcorn right from my hand. She even intentionally licked my fingertip. Just a moment ago, I was looking at a movie flyer. I was thinking there are quite a few good movies out lately. If we don't have other plans next week, it wouldn't be a bad idea to ask her out again. Suddenly, I felt something cold on my cheek. I turned around to find He Fang leaning over. She had pressed a cup of carrot juice against my face. I took it and thanked her. Right then, an announcement rang through the cinema. Attention, guests. We apologize, but Theater 3 is currently closed. For emergency maintenance, please proceed to the counter for a refund or exchange. We apologize for the inconvenience and appreciate your understanding. Theater 3? I glanced at He Fang. He Fang pulled the tickets from her bag, frowning slightly. We're in Theater 3. What are the odds? I sighed, then quickly stood up and led He Fang toward the ticket counter. There were quite a few people for this showing, and many hadn't realized what was happening yet. Let's go exchange these quickly. Hi, we have tickets for Theater 3. When is the next showing for Terminator? I'm terribly sorry. We only have 2 3D theaters, and the other one is fully booked for the day. The ticket agent checked the system and looked at us apologetically. I'm so sorry. Would you like to see a different movie instead? Since we already had the tea and popcorn, returning them wasn't an option. How about this one? I pointed to a poster next to the counter. Goodbye, Mr. Loser. I saw it had a high rating earlier, and it's supposed to be a lighthearted comedy. He Fang hesitated for a moment. Sure, let's watch that one. We picked 2 seats in the middle toward the back, carrying our tea and popcorn. We didn't have to wait long for the movie to start. I usually only go to the movies for American blockbusters with my bros. This was my first time watching a movie with a girl, and it felt really strange. He Fang leaned her head toward me. What are you thinking about? I was just thinking. If those 2 guys hadn't started a fight in Theater 3 and broken the equipment, we'd be watching an action movie right now. True, but since you... What did you say? I said just focus on the movie. All right. The pre-show ads ended, and the movie officially began. He Fang looked straight ahead and didn't say another word. To my surprise, I found the movie to be quite entertaining. Or maybe it's because of the person sitting next to me. Every now and then, I'd steal a glance at He Fang's profile. She was completely relaxed, leaning back in her seat, looking like she was sinking into the cushion. Unlike the people laughing their heads off around us, she just watched the movie in silence. In the dim light, I couldn't quite make out her expression, but she seemed to have something on her mind. Here. Have some. Here. Have some. He Fang was slightly dazed. Then his smile tugged at the corners of her mouth. She touched it. My online friend, on our first movie date, actually licked my finger. In that moment, feeling that slight dampness, my brain just short-circuited. You're blushing. Holy crap, is she flirting with me? Holy crap. She really is flirting with me. What happened to the pure friendship we promised? How can she be like this? No matter how you look at it. I'm a man who's been in love back in college, even if it only went as far as holding hands. But now, right now, I'm being teased by a girl 2 years younger than me. A little brat is playing with me. This is so embarrassing. As someone with complex romantic experience, I can't let myself be this pathetic. I'm a grown man. I have to maintain some dignity. Just eat some popcorn and calm down. It was just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. You should eat some too. The more I pay attention, the more she pushes. She's definitely doing this on purpose. Stay focused, stay calm. I can win this. Fine, it's just a little flirting, right? So what if we feed each other one by one? You eat some too. Thank you. Why is she suddenly being so well-behaved? She just stopped teasing me halfway through? I already figured out how to handle her, and then she suddenly retreats. This feels exactly like being scolded by someone. And before you can even open your mouth to argue back, by the time you found the right words, they've already run off. How can she do this? This is so frustrating. I should have just grabbed her hand earlier. I should have shown her what happens when you play with fire. I have no idea what happened in the second half of the movie. By the time I snapped out of it, the credits were rolling. It's almost 9. I'll walk you back. Sure. Fang looked at me and smiled again. Then, as if nothing had happened, she started walking ahead. The movie was pretty good, right? Yeah, not bad. I stole a glance at Fang, complaining to myself inwardly. She clearly barely watched any of it from start to finish. It seems she really didn't like this movie. I'll have to take her to a really good movie next time. To make up for it. I need to find a topic to talk about first. Remembering the theme of the movie we just saw, I asked, if you could be like the characters in the movie and go back in time, what would you want to do? That's impossible. That's why I said if. What about you? What would you do? If I could go back to the past, if I could go back in time, I would definitely take the chance when she was teasing me, grab her hand tight, and get my revenge. The light's green, let's go. Once we finished crossing the street, Fang naturally let go of my hand, just like always. Now's the time. I suddenly grabbed that small hand of hers. Fang turned her head, stunned. She was clearly caught off guard. My hand and my mind both felt incredibly satisfied. This is what you call revenge. The revenge of a man with complex romantic experience. A long overdue payback. Fang burst out laughing, as if she knew exactly what I was thinking. Then, I felt her fingernail lightly scratch the palm of my hand. That single light scratch felt like it went straight to my heart. It was itchy and tingling. My whole body froze, and my heart rate uselessly accelerated once again. What's going on? Am I the one who got played in the end? I just got confessed to. By the online friend I just went to the movies with for the first time. Just now. Fang kept holding my hand until we reached her dorm. I looked at my hand, which was already soaked with sweat. I wanted to let go, but I couldn't bring myself to. This victory I finally won. Was I really going to just hand it over? I've truly lost all face. I don't know how much time had passed, but Fang suddenly stopped. She turned around and said, I'm at my dorm now. Sensing that I didn't seem to have any intention of letting go, a smile played on her lips. Can't bear to leave me. I snapped out of it, momentarily dazed. The next second, I felt someone lightly tickle my palm. A wave of tingling ran from my palm up my arm and straight to my chest. I like you, Qin Guanglin. Let's date. Bye-bye. How am I supposed to react right now? What should I say? She threw the finishing blow and checkmated me instantly. After I got home, my mom was still busy cleaning the tobacco pipe. Seeing her precious son walk through the door, she instinctively asked, You're back. How was your? Wait, what's with that look? I held my shoes, still out of it. My head was filled with Fang's face leaning in, and her sweet, clear voice saying, I like you. I licked my lips, about to speak. Suddenly, I felt a hint of sweetness. It seemed to be orange-flavored lip balm. It's nothing, Mom. I'm going to bed. Without waiting for her to respond, I ran straight to my room. I kicked off my slippers and flopped onto the bed, replaying everything that happened today. I'm certain, absolutely positive, that this wasn't just some playful teasing anymore. Time crawled by, and in the blink of an eye, it was morning. I was lying in bed with dark circles under my eyes from insomnia, clicking on Fang's avatar and then closing it, opening her profile and then closing it again. I had typed out a whole paragraph several times only to delete it all. So, what's the situation now? Are we officially dating? Or does it not count because I didn't give her an answer yesterday? I'm sure. What happened last night wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment thing, or because the mood was just right. She's not that kind of person. And neither am I. Regardless of her reasons, I've truly fallen for her. Falling for someone in just 2 months feels incredibly fast, almost unbelievable. But if it's not love, who would bother talking to someone 800 times a day? Who would stay up all night just to text? Who would spend all their free time wandering around with someone? But what do I do next? Just as I was pondering this, my phone chimed with a notification. I jumped up and sat upright, opening the phone with a mix of anxiety and anticipation. Good morning. Seeing the message from Midu Kai Hui, I felt a bit confused. Her attitude was exactly the same as before. It was as if nothing had happened at all. What is going on? Do you have to work today? No. Do you have classes? I don't either. Want to hang out later? My spirits instantly lifted. I thought to myself, this is my chance. We used to wait a few days between meetings, but now we're meeting 2 days in a row. So I replied, sure. Where? Xicheng again? Okay. But I have to go to Namfei Road to take care of something first. After finishing the chat, I leaped out of bed. After telling my dear mother not to save any lunch for me, I rushed into the bathroom to start getting ready. 2.5 minutes later, I looked at the sign for Namfei Road, feeling a bit lost. This street is pretty big. Trying to accidentally run into someone here is going to be tough. Should I wait at this intersection for a bit to see if I can spot her? Then pretend to be surprised and say, what a coincidence. Or should I walk around and look for her? Maybe I should just ask her where she is. I took out my phone and typed into the chat, What kind of business are you taking care of? Ding dong. A notification sound reached my ears, followed by a familiar voice. What are you doing standing here looking all over the place? I was planning to stage a chance encounter with the girl I like, but the very next second, she appeared right behind me. Even though Fang tried to look curious, I could see her, struggling to hold back a laugh. Well, didn't you say you had something to take care of? I came to see if I could help with anything. Since the chance encounter was a bust, I had no choice but to honestly admit that I came here on purpose. Is that so? You got here pretty fast. You must live nearby. You got here pretty fast. You must live nearby. Fang asked casually, as she started walking forward. I nodded and hurried to keep up. Yeah. Where are you headed? Fang patted the small backpack on her shoulder, to drop off a manuscript. You came all this way just to mail something? I found it a bit strange. Couldn't you have sent it from Sicheng? Is there a problem? Fang turned and glanced at me. By the way, those dark circles are terrible. Did you not sleep well last night? Thinking about my struggle with counting sheep last night, I waved it off. There were just too many mosquitoes. They kept me up. I see. That does make it hard to sleep. I took a closer look at Fang and noticed she looked refreshed and full of energy. You look like you slept great though. I slept like a log until morning. It was wonderful. 2.5 minutes later, we both walked into the Taidiao Express station. Fang pulled a thick stack of manuscripts from her backpack. What kind of manuscript is it? I asked curiously. A novel. Fang said while filling out the form. I wrote it in my spare time. I'm sending it to a publisher to see what they think. Watching her carefully check the details with her pen, I was a bit stunned. I think she mentioned she was a literature major. Are students these days this talented? She's a senior, and she's already written such a thick novel. After confirming the information, Fang stuck the shipping label on the package and turned to look at me. Seeing my blank expression, she waved her hand. What are you thinking about? Let's go. I snapped out of it and followed her out of the express station. You were just staring at me like an idiot. No. I wasn't. I was just thinking about something. Now that your business is done, where should we go next? Is there anywhere you want to go? I want to see where you paint. Can you take me there? Well, my mom is at home. It might be a bit awkward to bring a girl over. Is it that inconvenient? It's just your workspace. Can I please? 2.5 minutes later, Chin's mother opened the door, looking absolutely stunned. Because standing outside the door was a girl, with a smile as bright as a flower. It was the same Fang she had seen yesterday. She politely greeted her. Hello, Auntie. I'm Fang. I'm Chin Guanglin's. I'm his friend. Oh, you're Xiao Chin's friend. Come in, dear. This boy rarely brings friends home, and he's never brought a girl before. I hope I'm not intruding. Take a seat, take a seat. Watching the two of them exchange pleasantries, I quickly gestured. My studio is this way. Fang sat down on the sofa instead, showing no intention of going to the studio yet. She even gave me a smile. She gave me a smile, looking completely innocent. How can you let a guest in without offering her a drink? Go get some water now. Oh, it's okay, Auntie. I'm not thirsty. Don't be shy, dear. You're a guest. It's the least he can do. Actually, a long time ago, he said he wanted to show me his studio. He's just been so busy that we kept putting it off. When did I ever say that? Weren't you the one who insisted on coming? So you two have known each other for a while then? Guanglin is my senior from school. I almost dropped the glass of water when I heard that. Since we're both from Luocheng University, I'll accept being called senior, but we've only known each other for about 2 months. That's not a long time at all. And what's with this Guanglin business? Mom, don't get the wrong idea. How bold can online dating get these days? We've only been meeting offline for half a month, and she's already followed me home, and even shared a bed with me. Just now, after hearing I was Fang's senior, my mom's smile became even warmer. Dear, are you also at Luocheng University? Yes, I'm graduating this year. Auntie, you could just call me Fang. Here's your water. What's with that attitude? Fang, right? Ignore him. Have some water, dear. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Auntie. You should be thanking me. I'm the one who poured it and brought it over. It's just a glass of water. I looked at my mom and Fang. The way they were getting along so well felt a bit off to me. It didn't feel like a normal guest visit at all. Seeing Fang sitting there with her hands on her lap like a refined lady, my mom was clearly delighted. Well, you two young people go ahead and chat. I need to go to the market for some groceries. Fang, you're staying for lunch. Oh, I don't want to trouble you, Auntie. I'll just stay for a bit and then head out. Do you two have plans later? No, not really. Seeing her opening, my mom made a quick exit, grabbing her shopping basket and heading for the door. Then you're definitely staying for lunch. It's settled. Before we could react, the door slammed shut. Fang put down her glass, standing up with a grin. Let's go. Show me your studio. I stood up and checked the clock. It wasn't even 11 a.m. yet. This is where I usually paint. You really have that artist vibe going on. I scratched my head awkwardly. The next moment, I saw her lean down and start picking up the sketches scattered on the floor. I can clean that up later. But Fang didn't stop. She seemed strangely practiced at it. Don't just stand there. Go change the trash bag. Okay. 20 minutes later, He Fang let out a sigh, looking around. This looks much better. I looked at her with a bit of surprise. The sketches, drafts, paints, and brushes were all neatly organized and categorized. Does she know how to paint too? I have to admit, she's much better at organizing than I am. Thanks for helping me clean up. Consider it my way of saying thanks for lunch. Want me to guess which room is yours? Is she planning to clean my bedroom too? It's this one, right? Yeah. I was stunned. I wondered how she guessed correctly on the first try. Fortunately, when He Fang entered the room, she didn't start cleaning like I expected. She just stood there, looking around at the decor, taking a deep breath, with an unmistakable look of nostalgia in her eyes. Is there a weird smell in my room? My heart skipped a beat, and I secretly took a deep breath. There's no smell. I opened the window, to air it out every day. He Fang walked over to the bed and sat down gently. She suddenly tilted her head and bit her lip. I'm tired. Then you should rest for a bit. You come here too. What? What are you doing? Look at that look in your eyes. I'm not going to eat you, so don't be scared. Look at those dark circles under your eyes. I'm letting you lie down for a bit. It's your room and your bed. What are you afraid of? We're sleeping in the same bed. We're sleeping in the same bed. Don't talk nonsense, isn't it? Just taking a short rest? Don't talk nonsense, isn't it? Just taking a short rest? What are you getting so worked up for? This is your house and your room. I'm done teasing you. Now get some rest. About last night. That's right. I confessed to you last night, but you haven't said yes yet. Right, that's the thing. Wait, when did you confess to me? I confessed to you downstairs at the dorm, and I even kissed you afterward. Don't tell me you were the one who confessed. You remembered it wrong last night. No way, how could I remember something like that wrong? I didn't. So, do you accept my confession? I already kissed you. Then. Does this mean we're officially dating now? Doesn't count. You have to officially confess to me again. Hurry up. He Fang, I like you. Let's date. Oh my. When you get old, not only do you go deaf, but your eyes go bad too. I keep bumping into things. Really, I didn't hear a thing. You two carry on. We're doomed. My mom heard me confessing to you. If you don't say yes, I won't have any excuse to stay for the lunch my mom's cooking. You definitely did that on purpose. No way, how was I supposed to know she was back? You totally did it on purpose. As a normal, manly guy, why do I keep getting played by her? What are you doing? I'm going out. What did you think I was going to do? There's no way in hell I'm going out there right now. Then I'm going out. Auntie, let me give you a hand. No need, no need. You and Xiao Lindsay just sit tight and wait to eat. It's fine, I often cook at home too. Haha. You're so young and you already know how to cook. What a good girl. Where is your home? In Hetown. It's not too far from Luoqing. Isn't this how dating is supposed to be? I'm clearly 2 years older than her. So why does it feel like an older sister teasing her younger brother? So it's He Fang. No wonder the girls next door already went to wash their hands, saying, let me do it, the water is dirty. It's okay. It'll be clean after a quick wash. Damn it, I'm not going out there. It's too embarrassing. An hour later. Lunch is ready. Come and eat, Mother Chin muttered to herself, as she set the wash bowls and chopsticks on the table. So slow. You're not even excited for food. So slow. You're not even excited for food. A moment later, after washing my hands, I walked from the bathroom into the kitchen. I looked at my mom, then looked around the kitchen. Somehow, this scene felt incredibly harmonious. What are you standing there for? Mother Chin saw her son's sluggishness and got a bit annoyed. Now that you've washed your hands, hurry up and scoop some rice for He Fang. Just as I turned around, He Fang had already finished scooping 2 bowls of rice and brought them to the table. It's okay, Auntie. I can do it myself. Mother Chin let out an "oh." My appetite is small. Before she could finish her sentence, she saw the portion of rice in that bowl was only half filled. She swallowed the rest of her words. Mother Chin looked at He Fang with a bit of surprise. It was clearly her first time eating at her boyfriend's house, yet this girl knew her future mother-in-law's appetite like the back of her hand. At this moment, Mother Chin looked at He Fang with astonishment once again. Her appetite was indeed very small. She only ate about that much every meal. At most, she'd have a few more bites of side dishes, but she absolutely wouldn't eat any more rice. How did you know I only eat this much? He Fang paused for a moment, then quickly explained. My family eats very little too, so I just did it out of habit. Please, go ahead and eat. Auntie, if it's not enough, I'll get you more. No need, no need. This is just right. Is that so? Well, it seems we're really meant to be. Is that so? Well, it seems we're really meant to be. I finished washing my hands and sat at the table, a surreal feeling rising within me. In just a few short hours, He Fang had completely integrated into this family. As expected, she's not simple at all. Not only does she have ways to handle me, but she's also incredibly good at dealing with women like my mother. You're a great cook, young lady. Mother Chin took a bite of the last dish He Fang brought out, and her eyes lit up. He Fang made this shredded vegetable stir-fry Xiao Lin. Make sure you eat plenty. I shoveled rice into my mouth and gave a grunt of agreement, but a sudden sense of crisis flared up inside me. Does this woman have no flaws at all? Having a talented girlfriend is a good thing, but it's not great if I'm being outshined in everything. I have to find a way to get a win back. He Fang smiled as she watched Qin Guanglin, eating his rice, her eyes never seemingly leaving him. Mother Qin stole a few glances from the side, then looked at her own son, lost in thought. This idiot only knows how to keep his head down and eat. What exactly did such an outstanding girl see in him? Is this what they call the fool's luck? This meal was incredibly delicious. A bowl piled high with rice was gone in the blink of an eye. I swallowed the last of my food, and was about to stand up to get more rice, when a small hand reached out from beside me. I gripped my bowl tightly, and turned to look at He Fang. What is she doing now? Let me help you, He Fang said with a smile. Before I could even process what was happening, I felt a light kick on my foot, and I instinctively let go of the bowl. He Fang smoothly took the bowl and went to get more rice. My mom muttered, "Get it yourself next time. Don't make her do it for you. I wanted to do it myself." She snatched it from me. In no time, a perfectly portioned bowl of rice was placed in front of me. I awkwardly mumbled a thank you. "You're welcome." He Fang sat back down, looking like she was in a great mood. After lunch, He Fang took the empty dishes to the kitchen. "Auntie, let me help you with these." No, dear. You don't need to lift a finger. I've got it. Qin's mother quickly took the dishes, her face beaming with smiles. "Go wash your hands and chat with Xiao Qin." Unable to win against my mom, He Fang left the kitchen and went straight to the balcony. She naturally picked up the watering can and started watering the plants. Just as I was about to go over and help, my mom's voice suddenly rang out from the kitchen. "We're out of dish soap. Xiao Qin, go to Uncle Pan's shop and buy a bottle." I scratched my head and said to He Fang, "You heard her. I'll be back in a flash." He Fang didn't seem bothered at all about being left alone at my house. "It's fine. Go ahead. The convenience store isn't that far anyway." 2.5 minutes later, I was at the checkout with a bottle of dish soap. "Uncle Pan, how much do I owe you?" Uncle Pan, who was reading a newspaper, looked up. When he saw what I was buying, a knowing smirk appeared on his face. "Brought a girlfriend home today, did you?" I was taken aback. "Who told you that?" "Everyone saw it." Uncle Pan chuckled proudly. "You brought a girl home, and then your mom went to the market and bought a ton of food. It's pretty obvious, isn't it?" "Uncle Pan, you should have been a detective." I pulled out my wallet and noticed the box of lollipops on the counter. I grabbed a few and put them next to the dish soap. "How much for everything?" "Just give me 20 yuan. Uncle Pan grinned when he saw the lollipops. "Not getting any other snacks? Girls love that stuff." I felt a bit embarrassed. "Then just pick out a few more things for me." "But you know, that girl. She's been hanging around here for a few days." I was wondering who she was looking for. Uncle Pan said as he gathered some snacks. "I never would have guessed. She was looking for a kid like you." I froze for a second. "You must have the wrong person. Today was her first time coming over. You definitely saw someone else." "Today was her first time here." After paying, I said thanks and hurried back. Uncle Pan just hummed a response and sat back down, blowing out a puff of smoke. Kids these days, always so secretive about their relationships. 2.5 minutes later, hearing the door open, my mom came out of the kitchen, muttering as she took the dish soap. "What took you so long just to buy dish soap?" However, when she saw the big bag of snacks in my hand, she stopped complaining. "Oh, look at you, getting all thoughtful. She's in your room." I went to my room and opened the door, to find He Fang hugging a pillow and rolling around on my bed. The moment she heard me, she stopped instantly. She looked exactly like a little fox, caught stealing a treat. "I didn't know what you liked, so I bought a bunch of stuff." "Wow, the girlfriend title comes with perks this quickly. I thought I'd have to train you slowly." Is she looking down on someone with my extensive romantic experience? "So, what perks does the boyfriend title get?" He Fang opened a bag of potato chips. Hearing that, she picked one up and held it to my mouth. She held it to my mouth. "You get the first bite. It's extra tasty." I instinctively swallowed. I hesitated for exactly 0.3 seconds before eating the chip. "We're officially dating now, so this doesn't count as teasing." "This doesn't count as teasing. Is that all? What else do you want?" He Fang tilted her head, and I couldn't tell if it was accidental, or if she intentionally licked her lips. I noticed her action, and looked at those soft, pink lips. I suddenly remembered the orange-flavored lip balm. "Oh, so you want this. If you want it, come and get it yourself. I'm her boyfriend now, why wouldn't I dare? It's not like we haven't kissed before. Do you two want some watermelon? Just keep doing what you're doing." In that moment, I was so embarrassed I could barely breathe. "It's okay. I'll just be more careful in my next life." The girlfriend I've been dating for less than a day just told me she's pregnant. She took my hand and placed it on her stomach, looking completely serious. "This is your baby. Just a moment ago." I was about to exercise my boyfriend perks when my mom walked in on us. I rolled over and lay on the bed, my heart pounding like crazy. I thought to myself, I just got close to her and I'm already like this. This isn't good. I need to find someone to ask if all women are these kinds of monsters. Fang then put on a look. She tiptoed toward me, leaned into my ear, and whispered, "Actually, I'm pregnant." "What?" My eyes widened, and I jumped up to look at her. Fang pulled my hand to her stomach, looking shy. "I'm having a baby." I felt the warmth through my hand, completely stunned, not knowing what to do with myself. Fang pressed my hand down firmly, as if she wanted me to feel it clearly. "This is your baby." The moment she said that, my brain completely shut down. I pulled my hand back so hard as a reflex that I fell off the bed with a loud thud. Whose is it?" "Yours, of course. You kissed me last night. One kiss on the mouth and you have a baby. You were the one who kissed me. I'm the one who should be pregnant then." I was so flustered I couldn't even speak properly. This woman is playing with me again. She's so wicked. A baby from a kiss? Who would believe that? Then, the next second, I felt warmth from behind. A pair of small hands wrapped around my waist and started playfully poking me. I grabbed those mischievous hands. "Stop it." "Fine, I'll stop. Go to sleep." She's always making fun of me. I gently squeezed the small hands in mine. It felt pretty good, so I decided to just close my eyes and rest for a bit. Since I hadn't slept at all last night, sleep overcame me before I knew it. When I finally opened my eyes, the room was starting to get dark. I rolled over, and once I regained my senses, I reached out to the side. It was empty. "Where's Fang? Did she leave?" I sat up and realized I was covered with a thin blanket. For some reason, her image popped into my head. I checked the clock. It was already after 5 p.m. I really crashed hard. I picked up my water glass and took a sip, suddenly tasting a hint of orange. I looked at the glass and licked my lips. I can't believe she did that while I was asleep. After getting ready, I walked out of the room, wanting to see if Fang was still there. My mom was sitting in the living room, absorbed in her antiques. "You're awake. Come sit." I sat on the sofa and asked, "Where is she, Mom?" "She just left. You slept too long." My mom said with a neutral expression. "So are you two official now? Didn't you see everything in my room?" I didn't see her say yes to you. You didn't even have a gift. You just stood there and confessed. She should have rejected you. She said yes. She said yes. How did you two meet? How did you meet? Well, she's my junior from school. I absolutely cannot let my mom know that she was the one who pursued me. She's still a student and you're already up to no good. She's graduating soon, Mom. Don't make it sound like I'm dating a high schooler. Even though when I'm with her, it feels like I'm the younger one. You just confessed today. But I saw you two going to the movies yesterday. We liked each other back then. Can't we go to the movies if we're not dating? That girl seems really great. I have no idea what she sees in you. It makes no sense. I'm a tall, decent-looking guy. It's not like I'm missing any limbs. Why wouldn't she like me? Don't you dare bully her. Invite her over more often when you're free. I'm the one being bullied here. I grumbled to myself and went back to my room. I couldn't take this conversation anymore. Either the world was ending or I was going to die of frustration. But after closing my door, I thought about it. There really was one problem. What exactly did she see in me? It really doesn't make sense. So I picked up my phone and texted my best friend. "How do you tease a girl?" This guy has had 2 whole relationships. He has twice the experience I do. "Hey girl, give this big spender a smile." My friend saved as Xiao Yu replied instantly. "Not like that." I asked again. "How do you flirt with a girl you like?" My best friend replied at lightning speed. "You mean, how do you pursue the girl you like, right? How do you pursue the girl you like?" I paused. Instead of saying that, it's more like I've already been caught. I mean, making a woman blush and get shy. Making her heart race. That kind of thing. Bro, that's not teasing. That's called flirting. Xiao Yu suddenly felt sorry for Qing Guanglin. He's been single for so long, he probably hasn't even held a girl's hand. He can't even tell the difference between teasing and pursuing. I have to help him. I looked at the message and fell into deep thought. Flirting with women. It seems that's exactly what this is about. Tell me, how exactly does this flirting thing work? The knowledge in this field is vast and profound. The most basic part is during everyday conversation, showing it through your words. Let me give you an example. What's your zodiac sign? Xiao Yu decided to take all the secret techniques he learned online and pass them all down to his friend. I felt a bit confused. "No, you belong to me." Looking at the message in front of me, I felt like I had just opened the door to a whole new world. Switching chat windows, I immediately sent a message to Lost Lamb waiting to return. "What's your zodiac sign again?" Unexpectedly, she asked back. "What's yours?" "I'm a dog." "And you?" "Wait, no, you belong to me." I was a bit flustered and couldn't keep my cool. Isn't this a confession? This is way too cheesy. No way. I just got counterattacked. I failed. This is a bit embarrassing. Do you have any stronger moves? I continued to consult my best bro. Xiao Yu held his phone and frowned. "Looks like your opponent is pretty high level. You're just a beginner. Failing is normal. Just take some time to study it more. Is there any ultimate finishing move?" Xiao Yu shook his head. "You don't even have the basics down. Even if I gave you an ultimate move, could you even use it?" "Don't worry about whether I can use it or not. Just teach me a random move so I can see if it's viable." I was a bit anxious. I definitely had to win a round back. I can't just keep getting bullied. Alright then, I'll teach you my bottom-of-the-box secret technique. I guarantee it's an absolute killer move. Following my friend's suggestion, I went on Baidu to search for the keyword cabinet wall pin. After looking into it, I suddenly had an epiphany. So that's how it is. This move really is an ultimate finisher. I'll just memorize it for now. If that girl goes too far again and brings up that having a baby joke to tease me, I'll use this ultimate move to teach her a lesson. Ding. Sure enough, my phone chimed. I picked it up to check. It was a message from Lost Lamb waiting to return. Let's do it again. This time, I promise. I'll cooperate with you. No more joking around. I swear I'll definitely cooperate this time. I refuse. Alright then. So when are you going to wake up? I just woke up too. Then you'll probably have insomnia again tonight. If I had known, I would have woken you up before I left. I looked at this conversation, feeling like something was off. But I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Putting the phone down to think for a moment, I picked it back up. I have a question. He-Fang replied with an MHM. Why? There aren't that many whys. You know what I'm asking. I want to know. To clarify whether my girlfriend was just lusting after my body. I directed a soul-searching interrogation at the girl I had just confessed to. You know what I'm asking. I want to know. The phone remained silent for a long time with no reply. I casually tossed it aside, not waiting anymore. I never really believed in love at first sight. Two people with zero understanding of each other, liking someone after just one meeting, is that even possible? Love at first sight is nothing more than lusting after someone's body. Otherwise, has anyone ever heard of someone falling in love at first sight with an ugly duckling? The thing between me and He-Fang. From the moment we met to being together, it was all single-handedly orchestrated by He-Fang, taking the initiative to add me as a friend, then leading up to a meetup, leading me to like her, and then leading me to confess. There has to be a reason behind all this. Could it be that she really is just lusting after my body? No way. My EQ might be a tiny bit low, but my IQ isn't low at all. Time to eat. Mom knocked on the door, interrupting my train of thought. I replied coming, and stepped out of the room. Most of the food was leftovers from lunch, just heated up a bit with only one freshly stir-fried dish, which was the dish both Mom and I loved the most. That little girlfriend of yours. I don't know where she learned to cook so well. I think her skills are good enough to open a restaurant. Mom suddenly started praising He-Fang's cooking skills again. It's just natural talent? You think it's from hard training? I replied casually. I have to admit, the dish she stir-fried for lunch today actually tasted better than Mom's cooking. Those knife skills can't be called natural talent. She must have been taken care of. The cooking at home since she was little. I believe it comes from practice. Do you have any plans with her? I took my chopsticks and shoveled 2 big mouthfuls of rice, then looked up, chewing while thinking. I feel like I need to find a job. Just relying on outsourcing like this isn't stable at all. It would be best if I could get a job at a studio. Isn't doing outsourcing right now pretty good for you? You have freedom and can support yourself. Mom was a bit surprised. It's not just me anymore. Mom froze for a moment. This brat has suddenly grown up. She let out a sigh, yet felt a bit of joy. That's right, the moment he realized his responsibilities, and actively took them upon his shoulders. He was already an adult, and it was almost time to consider starting a family. After dinner, I went back to my room, and casually picked up the phone on the table. The screen showed an unread message. Because you're always standing right behind me, just half a step away. I thought about it for a while, but I couldn't figure out what it meant at all. Well, at least now I can be sure that I like her, and she likes me too. That's enough. I tapped lightly on the screen, and typed a line into the chat. What's your Chinese zodiac sign? Hit send. Time flew by. That night, lying in bed, I couldn't help but start thinking about the future. Xiaoyu is working in animation now, focusing mainly on the creative side. Plus, his style is very unique, making it hard to blend in with others. I'm really not suited for that field. Being an illustrator doesn't seem too bad, especially since hand-drawn art is getting really popular lately. I should keep an eye on this area and brush up on some related professional skills in my free time. The gaming industry is also very lucrative, and the demand for background and character concept artists is getting higher and higher. Lost in thought, I slowly drifted off to sleep. It felt incredibly comfortable. The blanket still seemed to carry the faint scent of He-Fang's shampoo, a subtle fragrance that lingered in the air. Do I look pretty to you? Very pretty. Where are your eyes wandering off to? I felt confused. Didn't you tell me to look at the dress? Are you nervous? I'm not nervous. Then why is your face so red? To make her foolish son just a little bit smarter, my old mom poked 7 holes in 3 boiled eggs. However, right now, I was being teased by the girl I liked, making me completely flustered and at a loss for what to do. What are you blushing for? Seeing my reaction, He-Fang's smile grew brighter and brighter, slowly revealing 2 sharp little fangs. On top of her head, a pair of fox-like ears suddenly popped out. Am I pretty? I stared at her in horror. Her fingernails had grown over 10 centimeters long, and behind her back, like blooming fireworks, several bushy, furry tails burst out. "Look at me, am I pretty?" Seeing me cowering in the corner in fear without answering, the giant fox suddenly roared, "Am I pretty or not?" I jolted awake, my eyes wide open, panting heavily. I sat there in a daze for a few seconds, before realizing it was all just a dream. Turning my head to look out the window, the sky was already getting light. What time is it anyway? Looks like I won't be able to go back to sleep. I simply leaned back against the headboard, picked up my phone, and decided to browse the web for some job postings. The next second, my phone chimed with a message notification. I clicked to check it, and sure enough, it was from Me Too Degwe. "Good morning, you're up early today. I woke up and couldn't go back to sleep. Are you free today?" I looked at the computer and thought for a moment. I felt I should prioritize sorting out my job situation first. If she wanted to hang out, I'd have to turn her down. So I replied, "Whether I'm free or not depends on what you want to do." "I want to go to the amusement park with you." I paused for a moment. An amusement park? The holy land of dating. "What time should I pick you up?" "Let's do noon." "I have an exam this morning." "All right, good luck." I put my phone down, slightly dazed. Wasn't I just planning to turn her down? Why is it that the moment I saw the words "with you," I lost all my resistance, and agreed without a second thought? So weak. I despised myself for a moment. I got up and went to the closet to pick out an outfit. This was our first date since we officially got together. After all, I had to dress up and look sharp. Mother Chin was out in the living room. Hearing the noise in my room, she poked her head in. "Look at you, up early and full of energy today." "Mom, does this shirt make me look handsome?" I pulled out a plaid shirt and held it up against myself. Mother Chin looked at it with disgust. "Tacky. I think that light blue shirt on the bed looks much better. It makes you look vibrant and full of life." "Cheech, what do you know?" I decided to stick to my own fashion sense. 2.5 minutes later, I walked out of my room. Having finished brushing my teeth and washing my face, I looked bewildered as I received 3 boiled eggs from my mom. "What are you looking at?" "You forgot again, didn't you? Today is your birthday." Mother Chin sighed and went out to the balcony to continue her chores. "Make sure you nurture your relationship with that girl well, so she can take you off my hands sooner rather than later. That way, I won't have to look at your foolish face every day. Just seeing you makes my blood boil. You just hole up in your room all day without moving, or you're painting and getting colors all over yourself." I was already used to my mom's nagging, so I didn't mind. I picked up the poked egg and counted. Exactly 7 holes. "Oh right." Mother Chin suddenly turned around. "Use this birthday as an excuse to invite Yifang over here. We can all have dinner together tonight. I'll go buy some more groceries. She's hanging out with me this afternoon, so we'll probably just eat out tonight." I mumbled indistinctly while chewing on the egg. "Then take her somewhere nice to eat. Don't just drag the poor girl to some street stall for junk food." I know. "Don't worry about it, Mom." I held the egg and was about to head back to my room, thinking to myself that I just got a girlfriend. So why was my mom even more invested in this than I was? What the heck do you know? My own mother knew her son all too well, and continued to pass down decades of accumulated wisdom. Girls need to be coaxed and pampered. Even if there's no special occasion, you should give her little gifts. It doesn't matter if it's expensive or cheap. It's the thought that counts. When you're out with her, don't just act like a lump of clay that can't utter a single word. You have to take the initiative to talk. You hear me? You just hole up in your room right after eating. You're about to grow mold in there. I closed my bedroom door, completely shutting out my mom's voice from the outside. It's just dating, isn't it? She acts like I don't know how to do it. 2.5 hours later, I arrived at the meeting spot as promised. But when I saw Yifang wearing a long pink dress, I suddenly froze. Why is it exactly like the dress in my dream? Is she really going to sprout a bunch of foxtails just because of a long pink dress? The young man suspected his girlfriend was about to grow tails. "Why are you looking at me like that? Does it not look good?" "It's beautiful, very beautiful." I tried to suppress the urge to check if she was hiding a tail behind her back. Suddenly I noticed she was carrying a medium-sized cardboard box in her hand, perfectly square and neat. "Oh right, what's that you're holding?" "It's a secret." Yifang smiled mysteriously, turning around and walking toward the amusement park entrance. She had arrived early and already bought the tickets. After going inside, we went to the lockers nearby and stored all our bulky belongings, keeping only our phones and some spare change just in case. What should we ride first? The carousel, bumper cars, roller coaster, the giant pendulum, or the drop tower? We're going for the thrill rides right off the bat? Are you scared? Humph, as if I'd be scared. Why aren't you following me? You dropped something. My phone and wallet are still here. What did I drop? You dropped me. Mr. Chin, you were saying sweet nothings to me on the phone yesterday, weren't you? I wasn't the only one saying them. We were saying them to each other. You're making progress. I should reward you. I'm afraid this isn't the most convenient place for that. Then I'll just save it for later. Realizing I had just been played by her again, I irritably squeezed Yifang's small hand and rubbed my thumb hard against the back of her hand a few times. It's so strange. A girl's hand feels so soft, almost as if it has no bones, smooth and incredibly tender. Do you like it? Fang looked up at me with a smile. I love it, then keep touching it. Fang tightly gripped my hand with her small one, and in a cheerful mood, she pulled me into the line for the roller coaster. This amusement park in Luocheng was considered one of the top second-tier parks in the country in terms of scale. It had everything you could ask for. Even though the rides weren't exactly national bests, they all had their own unique charm. Welcome to the Luocheng roller coaster. This ride is suitable for passengers between 1.2 and 1.9 meters tall. Those with heart conditions, high blood pressure, motion sickness, or who are intoxicated, please do not ride. Hearing the operator read the warning, my stomach started doing flips. This roller coaster, according to the brochure, had a track over 900 meters long, 4 giant loops, a slow corkscrew, and a vertical drop. In all my years of living, I had only ridden one once when I was a kid, and it was one of those kiddie coasters barely 200 meters long. Fang tilted her head and gave me a sweet smile. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's okay even if we fall. I'm right here with you, so it's fine even if we drop. I'm here. After the operator pressed the start button, the train slowly began to move, clanking as it crawled up the steep incline. It looks terrifyingly high. I groaned inwardly, keeping my head up and trying not to look down, my hand unconsciously gripping Fang's tightly. When we reached the very top, the train paused for a split second, and then immediately plummeted downward. The G-force pinning me to the seat and the cold wind blasting my face completely took my breath away. Before I could even gather my senses, the train plunged into a massive loop. And everyone else started screaming their lungs out. This ride is way too intense. What about Fang? I turned my head to look, and found her looking right back at me. As if seeing right through my fear, she initially screamed along with the crowd, then turned to me and said, "Try screaming out loud like this." I was a bit stunned, but then I joined her and screamed at the top of my lungs, realizing that it actually worked wonders. All my tension and anxiety rode on that scream, and completely vanished. Amidst the adrenaline rush and the deafening screams, the train went through loop after loop. Those short 3.5 minutes felt like an eternity. I held tightly onto Fang's hand, an indescribably magical feeling welling up inside me, making me want to stay immersed in this moment forever. How do you feel after getting off the roller coaster? Fang asked with a smirk. Super thrilling. I'm actually craving more. It's good that you're not scared. Fang pulled my hand, turning on her heel and walking into a small wooden cabin with a sign that read aerial photography. Inside, there was a computer setup and 2 printers. Hello there. You two want to check out your candid ride photos, right? The staff member enthusiastically turned the monitor around and started explaining. These are all from the ride just now. Take a look and see which one you like. I was a bit surprised. So they actually had this kind of service here. The staff member tapped the keyboard twice. Oh wow, you guys were right in the front row. In the photo, it captured the exact moment we were high up in the air, mouths wide open screaming, our hands still tightly intertwined. The photo was incredibly sharp, showing every single detail of our facial expressions crystal clear. Fang seemed really pleased with this photo. She admired it for a moment before saying, "We'll take this one." The staff member continued to upsell. "Would you guys like to print any other photos?" "No need, just this one is fine." "All right, would you like 1 copy or 2 for this one?" I was just about to open my mouth and say 2 copies. When Fang beat me to it. "1 large print, please." "You got it, 1 large print," the staff member repeated as he clacked away on the keyboard. The printer let out a squeak and started running. A sheet of photo paper slid into the machine from the top and slowly rolled out from the slot at the bottom, with the crisp image of the 2 of us printed on it. "Are you sure you don't want to print any of the others? It's rare to come out and have fun, and photos are all about making memories. The more the merrier, right? Looking back later, these will be priceless memories." The smooth-talking guy rattled off a whole speech, trying his best to persuade us to print a few more. "No need, this one is enough." Fang smiled and took out her phone. "How much is it in total?" "Let me pay for it." I quickly scrambled to pay, but Fang turned her head and shot me a glance, and for some reason, didn't say a word. Without a single unnecessary movement, with just that one look, I completely read Fang's mind. Between you and me, there's no need to keep score over such trivial things. "Oh right, could you send me the original digital file?" Fang asked the staff member again. "Company policy says we can't provide digital files." The guy shook his head vigorously. "Otherwise, in this day and age, who would still pay to print photos? Come on, be a little flexible." "Look, I already paid for a print. If it puts you in a tough spot, I can throw in an extra 10 yuan. How about that?" Stepping out of the small wooden cabin, Fang was still clutching the photo, admiring it over and over with a face full of joy. "What should we ride next?" I asked as I walked beside her. Fang pondered for a moment, then shoved the photo into my chest. Here, you hold on to this. Let's go over there. She grabbed my hand and pulled me forward. Why didn't you print 2 copies? I looked at the photo in my hand. I had to admit it was a really good shot. Even I really liked it. Why would we need 2 copies? Are you planning on splitting up with me? Why would we need 2 copies? Are you planning on splitting up with me? How? How could I? Then 1 copy is enough. All right then. 2.5 minutes later, He Fang excitedly pointed at a towering pillar that was 100 meters tall and said, "The drop tower." Listening to the absolute blood-curdling screams echoing down from up there, I unconsciously gulped, a chill rising in my chest. I sneakily glanced at my girlfriend beside me. He Fang was beaming with a bright smile. "Want to ride it? Let's do it." The most popular thrill rides in the park were exactly the 3 rides He Fang had mentioned at the start. The rest paled in comparison. Even so, He Fang and I still spent nearly 2 whole hours just to casually experience most of the rides here. 2.5 hours later, on a stone bench along the park path, He Fang still looked full of energy. As for Qin Guanglin, after surviving all those rides and taking in way too much adrenaline, he was completely exhausted. The landscaping in the park was done quite well, with different types of plants in every area. He Fang looked at a small flower bush not far away, her eyes suddenly lighting up. She suddenly linked her arm with mine and cheered. "Let's take a picture." I obediently threw up a peace sign to cooperate. The click of the camera app sounded, but He Fang wrinkled her cute little nose and stared at me. "I'm going to have to throw away all your plaid shirts in the future. They're so tacky." "What's wrong with plaid shirts?" I personally spent a long time picking this one out. "Tacky is tacky." He Fang shoved the photo she just took on her phone in my face. "And this peace sign pose. It's the tackiest. Who even poses like this for photos nowadays? It makes me look full of youthful energy, doesn't it? It's not as bad as you're making it out to be." "No way, we're retaking it." He Fang pouted, clearly unsatisfied. "Scoot a little closer to me." "That's right. Put that peace sign down. Hide your hands behind your back, or you can just put your arm around my waist." After taking the picture, she scrutinized it for a moment, still not satisfied. "Let's take it again. Your expression is way too serious. Don't look so stiff. You need to smile a bit, got it?" Another click sounded, and a heavily filtered, magical-looking photo was born. "Is it good now? Don't they all look pretty much the same?" "How do they look the same?" He Fang shot me a look of utter disdain. I stood up and handed her the phone. "Anyway, we're done taking pictures, right? There are still a few areas we haven't checked out yet. Let's go." "Just one more. Just a couple more. I promise," He Fang pleaded. "We still haven't taken any portrait shots yet. We've taken enough. What else is there to shoot? If you don't listen to me, I'm going to kiss you." I pressed my lips tightly together, secretly wanting to continue not listening, so she would make good on her threat. But I felt like that would be way too obvious, and she might think I was deliberately setting her up just to get a kiss. That wouldn't be good. After a moment of hesitation, I plopped back down on the bench, obediently cooperating as He Fang continued to snap away. 2.5 minutes later, as I looked through the photos He Fang had sent me, I muttered to myself that women really are creatures of lies. She clearly said just one last picture, but ended up taking 2 more before finally stopping, and even forced me to set one as my phone wallpaper. Looking at my home screen with the image of our 2 heads, leaning closely against each other, I suddenly paused. Looking at it from this angle, it really did look a bit tacky. Oh wait, no, it's this plaid shirt that's tacky. After we were finally done with the photo shoot, I pointed ahead and asked, "Are you tired yet? Want to go over there and rest for a bit? We can take a break and grab something to drink." "Yeah?" He Fang nodded immediately, contentedly pulling me along at a faster pace, heading straight toward a small building designed like a giant mushroom. The rest areas in this park were all shaped like plants. "What do you want to drink?" Looking at the price list, I silently clicked my tongue. A can of cola was 10 yuan, and a bottle of water was a ripoff at 6 yuan. The prices at tourist spots are absolute robbery. Plus, they didn't even have a great variety of drinks, and I wasn't really a fan of carbonated stuff anyway. At this moment, He Fang had already opened the fridge and grabbed an apple-flavored milk box along with a bottle of lemonade. She turned to look at me. "You drink this kind, right?" "Yeah, that's right." I nodded. "Go find a table and wait for me. I'll pay for these." He Fang hummed in agreement and went to sit down. She tore the wrapper off the straw, poked it into the milk box, and slowly took a sip. She tore the wrapper off the straw, poked it into the milk box, and slowly took a sip. She kept sipping until the milk box made that slurping sound of empty air, before finally putting the drained box down and letting out a satisfied, relieved sigh with her eyes crinkled in delight. I stared at her intently. On her small, bright red lips, a drop of yogurt from the straw still lingered. While my mind was busy wondering if cow's milk tasted better, a tiny, pale pink tip of her tongue darted out and licked that drop of milk right up. Inside the rest area, besides a few tables, chairs, and the cashier counter, there was a row of claw machines lined up against the wall. Seeing He Fang looking around curiously, I asked, "What are you looking at?" I leaned in closer and followed her gaze. Claw machines, huh? Do you like them? Let me win a plushie for you. Fang shook her head. You don't know how to play. What's there not to know? You just control the claw and aim it right at the target. No need. There aren't any bears in here that I like anyway. Fang stood up, took 2 steps forward, then suddenly turned around and smiled. Someday, when we find a bear I actually like, you definitely have to show off your skills and win it for me. Someday, when we find a bear I actually like, you definitely have to show off your skills and win it for me. My face flushed red as I mumbled in agreement, and right after that, I was dragged away by her again. After walking a few steps and turning a corner, right next to us was a building that looked like an old castle. Is that a haunted house? Want to go in and check it out? I asked while thoughtfully observing the place. It looks too scary. Let's just go play something else. Fang hesitated a bit. Are you scared? My heart suddenly leaped with joy. All along the way, Fang had been happily conquering all sorts of extreme thrill rides. This was the first time I discovered that there was actually something she'd back down from. It's pitch black in there, so it's totally normal to be a little scared. We came to an amusement park to get our hearts racing and our legs shaking, didn't we? I took her hand and walked straight toward the haunted house. Since you want to play it so badly, I suppose I can risk my life and go in with you. Fang looked at me with a weird expression, not understanding what this guy was getting so excited about. But I'm warning you in advance. You're not allowed to purposely scare me later, and you can't wander too far away from me, otherwise I'll get really mad. All right, I'll hold your hand tight the whole time. Just as we stepped through the door, a staff member wearing a skull mask suddenly loomed in front of us. Welcome, you two. Fang jumped out of her skin and dove straight into my arms. I'm the attendant here. If you want to participate in the game, please step right this way. Skullface pointed toward a gloomy, chilling door nearby. Once you step through this door, if you two can find the path to survival, you'll be able to escape through the back door. But if you can't, hey, why? Why wouldn't we be able to find it? Just stick close to me and you'll be fine. I replied casually with a nonchalant look, leading Fang inside. There aren't any staff members dressed as ghosts to scare people in here, right? The skull guy standing outside the door let out a sinister chuckle. Are there? Why don't you guess? And there's this really weird smell too. Fang, hiding behind my back, suddenly spoke up timidly. I wrinkled my nose and took a sniff. There really is a faint smell. There really is a faint smell. Hey, maybe it's the stench of rotting corpses. The skull guy outside slowly pulled the heavy door shut. Well then, I hope you two enjoy this thrilling adventure. As soon as he finished speaking, all the lights snapped off in an instant. Leap by are only a few flickering green lights, casting a dim glow, just enough so players wouldn't go completely blind and smash their heads into the walls. The eerie, wailing background music, and the freezing gusts of wind blowing from nowhere, made the atmosphere even more terrifying. It actually feels like a proper haunted house. I muttered to myself, trying to scrape together my fading courage. But as a man, this was the golden opportunity to protect the weaker sex. I definitely had to win back my cool points this time. This is just a low-budget haunted house. They rely on the darkness to create fear, and then set up a few pop-up dummies to scare people. Just keep telling yourself it's all fake, and you'll be fine. I acted like a seasoned veteran, confidently comforting Fang. Suddenly, dropping down from the ceiling was a long-haired female ghost hanging upside down, letting out a bizarre, shrieking laugh. Fang jumped in terror, let out a blood-curdling scream, and threw her arms around me. It's fake, it's just fake. Don't be scared, don't be scared. I tried to act calm, patting Fang's back to comfort her. We just need to walk straight past it. We just need to walk straight past it. Fang clung tightly to me, her eyes squeezed shut, letting me lead her forward, not even bothering to look where she was going. Is she really that scared? If I had known, I wouldn't have dragged her in here. I chuckled inwardly, talking loudly to her as we walked forward. The little bit of fear in my heart had completely vanished, and I felt braver than ever. As we were walking, suddenly, from behind us came the clanking sound of iron chains dragging. Right after that came a second sound, then a third. I turned around to look, and without me realizing when, a towering figure had appeared. He was holding something massive, like a giant broadsword, and was dragging his feet toward us. Just looking for a thrill, the young couple, who had only known each other for 2.5 days, walked hand in hand into a haunted house. However, 2.5 minutes ago, upon hearing the iron chains and the female ghost's laughter behind them, both of them froze for a moment. What the hell is this? Holding a giant knife like that and dragging someone along. Even if it's just a prop, it's way too creepy. Let's go. I gave Fang a hard tug, but realized she was frozen stiff. Fang's face was pale, her voice trembling. My legs, they won't listen to me. Damn it. Who would have thought this haunted house would have actors playing murderers? I scooped Fang up into my arms, thinking to myself that if we got caught, we might have to face some kind of loser's penalty. This stupid haunted house isn't fun at all. What do I do now? She's already scared stiff. If I had known, I wouldn't have insisted on dragging her into this. Thinking of this, I decided to risk it all. bending down and scooping. He fang up into a princess carry. Bear with me for a sec. I'm carrying you out of here. Luckily, back in college, I used to hit the gym with my roommates. Even though I've been cooped up at home for the past 2 years with barely any exercise, I still had some foundational stamina left. But 8 minutes later, looking at that figure trailing behind us at a steady pace, I couldn't help but curse. Damn it. Why is he still chasing us? When I speed up, he speeds up. When I slow down, he slows down. Whenever I think about stopping, he lunges forward. This isn't going to work. I was getting anxious. As we whipped around a corner, I held He Fang and quickly dodged to the side, hiding in a pitch-black room. Let's gamble and see if we get found. If that thing actually dares to come in here, I'll jump out and fight him to the death. Thinking that, I put a finger to my lips, signaling He Fang to be quiet. He Fang's little head moved slightly. Under the dim light, her eyes seemed to be glowing. Her warm breath brushed against my collarbone. I don't know how much time passed. Maybe it was a long time, or maybe it was just a fleeting moment. The sound of iron chains rang out again, slowly fading back in the direction it came from, dragging along a chaotic mess of mannequins. Hearing the sound get further and further away, He Fang finally whispered, "Is he gone?" "I don't think I hear him anymore." I nodded. "He's probably far away by now. Let's get out of here." "Well, thanks to someone. You're holding me so tight I can't even stand up." He Fang squirmed slightly, and I suddenly realized my hands were still supporting her bottom. 2.5 minutes later, I poked my head out of the room, made sure no one was there, and then took He Fang's hand to keep moving. After escaping the pursuit of that axe-wielding chain maniac, there were no more creepy stalkers tailing us. I kept walking in front, and He Fang wasn't as terrified as she was at the beginning, calmly and slowly following behind me. "Looks like we're almost at the exit," I said, looking at the sign on the wall, then turned back to look at He Fang. "How come you don't look scared at all anymore?" He Fang didn't answer. She suddenly grabbed my shirt and pulled me down. Completely caught off guard, I froze, only feeling her hot breath brushing against my face. He Fang just gave me a quick peck and pulled away immediately. "From the moment you picked me up and ran, I stopped being so scared. From the moment you picked me up and ran, I stopped being so scared. All right, let's get out of here." I completely couldn't remember. When exactly I walked out of that haunted house. The only thing I remembered was the lingering sensation on my lips, along with that annoying guy, wearing the skull mask right outside the door. 2.5 minutes later, in front of the haunted house. 2.5 minutes later, in front of the haunted house. As I was debating what to ride next, He Fang suddenly reached out and grabbed my sea salt water bottle, and very naturally took a sip. "Let's head to the exit." I took back the water bottle she handed me, feeling a bit thirsty but too embarrassed to open it and drink. How could she be so casual about it? I felt my cheeks getting a little hot. Based on my rich dating experience, two people who haven't known each other for very long should just stick to holding hands. But now we're kissing and hugging. Isn't this progressing a bit too fast? Let's go back and get our stuff first. Then we can keep playing, He Fang said, pointing toward the exit. Then, ignoring my reaction, she just dragged me forward. "What stuff?" It was the box she brought into the park. I curiously asked, "What is it?" He Fang shook her head. "It's a secret. You'll find out when the time comes." After saying that, she suddenly held out her hand. I was a bit stunned. Before I could react, she said, "Your hand." "Hold my hand," He Fang spoke up. I obediently gave her my hand, and only then did He Fang contentedly walk on. Right in the middle of the park was a massive building that took up more than half of the amusement area. The dock had over 20 pedal boats parked there, the kind you have to pedal yourself. "We'll take a large 4-person boat and 2 bags of fish food." The staff member wearing a straw hat nodded. "Sure thing." I took the box from He Fang's hands and helped her onto the boat. Only after we were settled did the staff untie the rope at the bow, gave it a gentle push, and the boat left the dock, gliding out into the middle of the lake. The large 4-seater boat that He Fang specifically chose now only had the 2 of us in it. This type of boat was a bit longer than the 2-seaters, with a raised square block in the middle, which was perfect for placing the box she brought. I tried pedaling a few times, and found it was actually pretty fun. He Fang had already opened a bag of fish food, her small hand grabbing a handful and tossing it over the side. The school of fish instantly went into a frenzy, a swarm of bright red quickly gathering around. "You can't just feed them in one spot. Sprinkle it along the side of the boat, and they'll follow us out to the middle of the lake," He Fang said, grabbing another handful of food and tossing it down. The large school of fish formed a triangle, swimming right behind the boat. "Just lure them in little by little, right?" I looked at the scene before me, feeling my body and mind completely relax, a sense of peace and comfort washing over me. "You're absolutely right. You have to take it one step at a time." He Fang shot me a meaningful glance. "What's going on?" "I feel like there's something off about that look. It's probably just my imagination, right? You said you had an exam today. What was it for?" I quickly asked to change the subject. "The Mandarin proficiency test." It was a piece of cake. He Fang grabbed another handful of food and tossed it into the lake. I was a bit surprised. "Why take that?" It's a requirement if you want to get a teaching certificate. I was even more shocked. You want to be a teacher? Is that not okay? He Fang turned her head and raised an eyebrow. I didn't mean it like that. I waved my hands around a bit before dropping them. In my mind, literature teachers always had to keep a strict face and speak really fiercely. I just couldn't imagine. He Fang with a cold face, aggressively scolding students. I'm planning to be an elementary school literature teacher. You get winter and summer breaks, and it's pretty laid back with less work. He Fang seemed to have her future life all planned out. Student Qin Guanglin, how do you find teacher He's lecture? Student Qin Guanglin, how do you find teacher He's lecture? I suddenly realized that when she struck this pose, she really did have the aura of a teacher, especially with that look in her eyes. But I heard being a teacher is exhausting. You have to write lesson plans and grade papers all day, and make all sorts of teaching schedules. It's not as laid back as you say. Who knows better, you or me? He Fang glared at me. Then she suddenly leaned in with a smile. From now on, I'll call you Student Qin, and you have to call me Teacher He. And you have to call me Teacher He, so I can experience what it's like to be a teacher beforehand. I refuse. I'm older than you. You should be calling me your sweet big brother. I agree. Hey, sweet big brother. Wait, never mind. Just call me by my name. I quickly stopped her, thinking to myself, why does everything sound so twisted coming out of her mouth? Big brother. He Fang called out again in a sickeningly sweet voice. Actually, Student Qin sounds pretty good. Let's just stick with Student Qin. I felt my face burning up and had to compromise. Student Qin, be a good boy and call me Teacher He. Let me hear it. He Fang still wouldn't let it go. How is this girl so good at teasing people? Just as I was hesitating whether to say it or not. All right, I'll stop teasing you. He Fang seemed to know exactly when to stop, pulling back at just the right moment. She tossed another handful of fish food and asked, I saw you posted a moment on WeChat. Are you looking for a job? Yeah. I nodded. I've always made a living as an illustrator and never really thought about working an office job. I figured I'd look around and see, though I don't know how long it'll take to find a suitable one. Why look for a job so soon? He Fang suddenly asked a strange question. I was a bit taken aback. What do you mean? Why would you say that? This time, it was He Fang's turn to freeze. She hesitated for a moment, then explained. I mean, aren't you doing perfectly fine right now? Just keep building up your experience. It won't be too late to consider finding a job in a year or two. Working a real job is the best way to build experience. I felt like her way of thinking was completely different from normal people. Besides, being a freelancer is barely enough to support myself, and it's too unstable. It's better to find a proper job. He Fang's brows furrowed slightly, unsure of what she was considering. After a while, she finally spoke up. Anyway, I just don't think you need to rush right now. After all, you only have to support yourself. So if you prepare now, you won't be scrambling later. I saw that the bag of fish food in her hand was almost empty, so I opened the other bag and handed it to her. You haven't even graduated yet, and you're already taking certification exams. Now that's what I call rushing, you know? He Fang let out a soft sigh. 2.5 minutes later, she tugged at the hem of my shirt. Wait, stop pedaling for a sec. Let's just drift here for a bit. Now close your eyes. Why do I need to close my eyes? I looked at her, full of questions, and stopped pedaling. Whatever you want me to do, I can make it happen for you. My face flushed red and I froze. I thought to myself that this girl definitely had some scheme up her sleeve, and I absolutely couldn't fall for her trap this time. So I squeezed my eyes shut immediately. Then do whatever you want to me. Really? He Fang leaned in close and whispered. Her breath tickled my skin. Really, I'm ready. But as time ticked by, I didn't feel a single thing. Why is it taking so long? Why hasn't she started yet? Done. Open your eyes. Done? It ended before it even started. I opened my eyes in shock and was greeted by a beautiful birthday cake with my name written clearly on top. He Fang held the cake up and waved it around. Surprise. Are you shocked? How did you know today's my birthday? I took the cake, feeling completely in disbelief. I had originally planned to wait until we were done playing, to tell her, and then take her out for a nice meal. Teacher He here is a psychic. I just counted on my fingers and instantly knew your exact birth date. He Fang smugly bobbed her little head and placed the cake down in the middle of the boat. Hurry up and make a wish. She smiled. What I said earlier is still valid, you know. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Absolutely anything. He Fang lowered her voice seductively. Then close your eyes. I decided it was time to counterattack. She's been secretly secretly kissing me several times already. I need to get my money's worth. All right, He Fang replied decisively, and obediently squeezed her eyes shut. I leaned forward. This was the first time I got to admire He Fang's small face from such a close distance. On her fair, rosy cheeks, there was still the soft peach fuzz of youth, looking incredibly bouncy and smooth. It made me unable to resist the urge to reach out and pinch them. With great difficulty, I suppressed the urge to get hands-on and looked away. He Fang's small, cherry-red lips were practically glowing with an inviting allure. My useless heart started pounding like crazy, and my breathing gradually grew heavy. Absolutely anything. Stay calm, keep your cool, and you'll win. I aimed right for her soft, warm lips and gave them a gentle peck. A tingling sensation started from the point of contact and spread through my entire body. I hurriedly pulled back and sat up straight, my heart hammering relentlessly in my chest. Stay calm, don't panic. Later on, I'll have to make out passionately for ages just like on TV. Later on, I'll have to make out passionately for ages just like on TV. That's it? Fang slowly opened her eyes. Student Chin, I gave you a chance. It's your own fault for not seizing it. Student Chin, I gave you a chance. It's your own fault for not seizing it. Looking into her eyes, does that mean I could have done something way more outrageous? Why is your face all red again? Fang looked at me with great interest. I'm the one who just got kissed, you know. I'm the one who just got kissed, you know. I'm hot. I looked around everywhere, pretending to fan myself with my hand. It's incredibly hot out. Hey, it sure is hot. Come on, let's eat the cake. Fang picked up the knife, ready to cut the cake. This is the first time. I mumbled under my breath. Fang didn't seem to hear me clearly. What did you say? This is the first time I've ever kissed a girl. I raised my voice, not even understanding what I was sulking about. Fang couldn't hold back a laugh, bringing the cake closer. Student Chin, do you have any idea how cute you are? I opened my mouth, but couldn't utter a single word. I just awkwardly took the cake and took a massive bite. Fang also cut a piece for herself, eating it slowly in small bites. Student Chin, my birthday has already passed, so what should we do? We can just celebrate it next year, but I have to wait a whole year. I don't think that's fair at all. How is that not fair? I stopped eating my cake and looked at her warily, having a premonition that this girl was about to pull something again. Look, you just made a wish today, but I have to wait until next year to make mine. If you think about it, doesn't that mean I'll forever have one less wish than you? I stared at her, my face full of caution. So, what you're saying is, I have to compensate you with a wish, right? Just as I thought. Even though I didn't know what she was plotting, my intuition told me this wish was absolutely not going to be simple. I have to be extremely careful. I scooped up a piece of cake and nodded. All right, but you can't make any outrageous demands. What counts as an outrageous demand? The corners of Fang's mouth curled into a mischievous smile. Give me an example. I thought for a while but couldn't come up with anything. Why don't you just say it first, and I'll decide if it's outrageous or not. Fang's lips curved up. It's every day, the first time we see each other, you have to give me a kiss. And when we part ways, you have to give me a kiss too. I was a bit skeptical if my ears were hearing things right. Is this demand outrageous? Fang continued to probe. I awkwardly scratched my head, pretending to reluctantly agree. All right, this demand really wasn't outrageous at all, since we were dating anyway. Plus, she was the one asking for it, not me demanding it. This demand really wasn't outrageous at all, since we were dating anyway. Plus, she was the one asking for it, so it wasn't like I was taking advantage of her. Then it's a deal, effective immediately, and it lasts forever. Anyone in their first relationship develops the illusion that they can walk with their partner, hand in hand to the very end of the road, and I was no exception. If we live together in the future, twice a day, that's over 700 times a year, and over 7,000 times in 10 years. Thinking of this, I had to try really hard to suppress the corners of my mouth from unconsciously curling up. What are you smiling like an idiot for? Fang asked curiously. I'm not smiling like an idiot. All right, you're not. Fang pointed at the remaining cake in front of us. Finish it all. Saying that, she reached down and gently lifted the hem of her dress, placed her feet on the pedals, and gave it a couple of test pushes. Once she realized she wouldn't flash anything, she leisurely started pedaling the boat. As for me, I sat beside her and started scarfing down the cake. A real man should eat heartily and speak loudly. Eating like a little kitten like her is just too wimpy. Fang picked up the cake crumbs that had fallen on the base and turned around to throw them to the few remaining fish. We still have fish food left, don't we? I reminded her. Fish food isn't as tasty as cake. Fang stared blankly at the school of fish. 2.5 minutes later, I stuffed the last piece of cake into my mouth. I'm done eating. You take a break and let me pedal. Fang turned around and suddenly reached out, slowly wiping away a smudge of frosting on the corner of my mouth. Right after that, she incredibly naturally put her thumb into her own mouth and gave it a light suck. My surprise instantly turned into panic. What's wrong? Do you want to taste too? Fang pulled her finger out of her mouth and held it right in front of my eyes. I glanced at her finger, still glistening with saliva, then looked at her face and stammered, No need. This woman. Could she really be a demon in disguise? I heard drinking real girl wine can force snake demons to reveal their true form. I wonder if it works on fox spirits too? This woman. Could she really be a demon in disguise? I heard drinking real girl wine can force snake demons to reveal their true form. I wonder if it works on Fox Spirits too? Do you want to play anything else? He Fang casually picked up the park brochure and asked. Up to you. If you're tired, we can call it a day. That works. I'm not too tired. He Fang's face was full of smiles. I had a lot of fun today. Thanks for coming with me. She put the brochure down. Let's go grab dinner later. Where do you want to eat? Your house. Hearing that, I froze. My house? He Fang nodded. It's your birthday today. Let's go back and eat with your mom. We just started dating. Isn't this moving a bit too fast? I hesitated a bit and explained. I mean, if you come over to my house so much, it might give people the impression that you're not. You know, basically, I just don't think it's very good for you. He Fang turned and stared right at me, suddenly speaking up. You're trying to say I'm acting too forward, giving people the impression that I'm throwing myself at you, right? Your mom will actually be very happy to see me like this. I guess so. I scratched my head. It's not that I feel that way. I'm just a little worried. A young girl running over to a guy's house all the time. People are definitely going to gossip. People are definitely going to gossip. Most importantly, what if my mom changes her impression of her because of this? That would be a huge headache. Then you just need to be a bit more proactive. He Fang wrinkled her nose. I've always been the proactive one. It's a fact that I'm the one chasing you. The feelings were mutual from the start. There's no such thing as who's chasing who. I expressed my disagreement with her phrasing. Anyway, let's just take things slow. There's no need to rush like this. But I really want to rush. He Fang's expression suddenly turned serious. I really like you. I like you an insane amount. What am I supposed to do? Looking at her, all my messy thoughts suddenly vanished. I really like you too. That's why we're dating. He Fang looked at our tightly clasped hands. She paused for a moment. Then it's decided. We're having dinner at your house. The timing is perfect right now. I'll cook tonight. All right, all right. I nodded blankly. He Fang suddenly leaned in and gave me a quick peck. Don't worry, I'll handle everything perfectly. You have to trust teacher, his abilities. As for that real girl wine, I guess I'll just drink it myself. This girl is definitely a gift from the angels. How could she possibly be a demon? As for that real girl wine, I guess I'll just drink it myself. This girl is definitely a gift from the angels. How could she possibly be a demon? I left the pedal boat with He Fang and walked to the side of the lake. Now I've practically met the parents. When are you going to take me to your house to see it? Looking at the scenery in front of me, I gritted my teeth and asked, thinking to myself that I couldn't just stay passive. I can't just wait for her to invite me to her house. I have to take the initiative. After all, we've already kissed, touched, and hugged. He Fang was a bit surprised. Why are you suddenly in more of a rush than I am? I have to take responsibility for you. For some reason, I felt a little guilty. Let's quickly lock this down. After all, we've already done everything we're supposed to do. What do you mean we've done everything we're supposed to do? He Fang's eyes went wide. When did you do that? And what exactly are you trying to lock down? Didn't we do it all back in the haunted house? My voice got quieter and quieter as I spoke. Weren't you in a rush? So we should quickly lock down our marriage. He Fang was stunned for 2.5 seconds. Then she suddenly burst out laughing. That's not what I was rushing for. I felt my face burning up. Stop laughing. I'm being very serious. He Fang suddenly grabbed my hand. There's really no rush for marriage. I haven't even graduated yet. Wait until you've actually done all the things you're supposed to do, then we can talk about marriage. He Fang pursed her lips, trying to hold back her laughter, but she just couldn't hold it in. Student Chin, there are still many things you haven't done yet. I looked up blankly. Then, as if realizing something, my face filled with absolute shock. You mean you want to? Before we're even married? No way. Where's your mind going? He Fang cut me off. She turned her face away, spacing out for a long time before continuing. Anyway, just don't worry about it. I'll slowly teach you all the things you're supposed to do later. 2.5 minutes later, I held He Fang's small hand and pulled her to the market to buy groceries. As a result, all the neighbors we knew acted like they had discovered something incredibly novel. Couldn't they just say hi like they normally do? Why was all the attention focused on He Fang? I tried to act natural to deal with them. But inside, I was incredibly anxious. It really is progressing too fast. Suddenly showing up in front of acquaintances like this, it definitely gives people something to talk about. He Fang faced all of this very calmly. She would occasionally smile and nod. She didn't look guilty or nervous at all. Whenever she noticed I was about to let go of her hand, she would squeeze it even tighter. Then she'd look up and shoot me a warning glare. I had no choice. I had to pull her along and walk faster. To end this awkwardness, arriving at the vegetable stall, I started following behind He Fang, acting as her little assistant. Watching He Fang expertly pick out produce from the stall, occasionally giving them a gentle squeeze to see if the veggies were fresh. Potatoes, carrots, Thai chilies, cucumbers. That should be enough. He Fang looked up. Oh, right. Do you have any pickled mustard greens at home? I looked blank. Never mind. Let's just buy some anyway. Go over there and ask the boss to catch a snakehead fish for us. I quickly bought the fish and went back to find He Fang. Right, since it's for 3 people, let's get a bunch of garlic scapes too. We happen to have some dried wood ear mushrooms at home. Hearing He Fang calculate everything, I finally couldn't hold back anymore. How did you know that my mom and I only like eating fish and chicken? And those specific stir-fried veggie dishes that are so hard to order when eating out, especially those garlic scapes. People usually stir-fry it with meat or eggs. I've never seen anyone else stir-fry it with wood ear mushrooms. How did she know? Especially that garlic shoot dish. People usually stir-fry it with meat or eggs. I've never seen anyone else stir-fry it with wood ear mushrooms. How did she know? I told you, teacher, he is amazing. How did she know? I told you, teacher, he is amazing. He Fang turned around smugly. Your baize shows water and wood flowing together. Clear, not muddy. The herding officer's star is favorable. The daymaster is strong and supported. One look and I knew you prefer vegetarian food. I didn't understand a word but was still shocked. Are you into superstitions? You just need to know that I can read fortunes. You have to be a good boy and listen to me. He Fang turned her head and smiled brightly, because my mouth has been blessed. Seeing her turn and walk toward my house, I hurried after her, carrying the grocery bags in both hands. Could it be that the first time we met, what you said about face reading was true? It's true. So, did you see from my face that the two of us would be together? That's right. I saw it the very first time we met. What else did you see? I also saw that you're going to win the lottery. Are you kidding me? I choked up a bit, but I don't even buy lottery tickets. True. He Fang clasped her hands behind her back and kept walking. You never smoke, either. You have a scar on your right leg, from getting cut by a glass door when you were little. You also have a mole on your thigh. I was dumbfounded, completely speechless. He Fang suddenly smiled and turned around. Believe me now? Are you a fox spirit in disguise? I took a step back. I heard that many fox immortals, or willow immortals, often possess people to tell fortunes. No way. This is the authentic Chimen Dunjia from traditional Waxia culture. Amazing, right? A little scary. Did you use that Dunjia thing to find me? The secrets of heaven must not be revealed. Give me the keys. Let me open the door. After going upstairs and opening the door, He Fang suddenly reached out and took a grocery bag from my hand. Give me one bag. I dodged. Give me one bag. I dodged and said, I got it. Just go on inside. He Fang didn't stop what she was doing. She took a bag and then explained seriously. Even though you insisted on carrying everything on the way here, it'd be weird if I walked in empty-handed now. At this time, Mother Chin was on the balcony chopping food for the turtle. Hearing the door open, she turned around. Why are you back so early? Didn't you say you were taking He Fang? Hello, Auntie. I'm bothering you again. Hello, Auntie. He Fang was holding a bag of groceries, standing at the door with a bright smile. He Fang, you're here. Are you tired? Why didn't you let Xiao Lindsay carry that? Why did you buy so much food? He Fang leaned in and brought the food into the kitchen. Guanglin said today is his birthday. He insisted on buying some food and invited me to eat with him. I hope I'm not intruding? Not at all. How could it be an intrusion? Mother Chin turned to look at Qin Guanglin. This kid is getting more sensible by the day. This morning he said he wouldn't be home for dinner. Now he's happily dragged He Fang back here. After putting all the food down, Mother Chin happily turned around to wash the rice. You two go out and play. Let me cook the rice. Let Guanglin and me handle dinner tonight. I picked up a potato and suddenly spoke up. How can we do that? No way. I already felt bad enough letting you help last time. Mother Chin waved her hand in refusal. Listen to me. You two go out and play. But when we were at the market earlier, Guanglin said he wanted to taste my cooking. He Fang looked a bit shy. Don't listen to this brat, Auntie. Mother Chin glared at me. Who invites someone over for dinner and then makes them cook? You have no manners at all. It's okay. I really like cooking. He Fang also secretly glared at me. I immediately understood. I hurriedly escorted my mom out. Mom, just go rest. We'll definitely make you a delicious meal. You don't know jack about cooking. Isn't He Fang going to be the one cooking? I'll help wash the veggies and pass the salt. Anyway, don't worry about it. Looking into her son's eyes full of wisdom, she finally compromised and left the kitchen. All done. Stop looking. I turned my head. I saw that He Fang had already put on an apron. She was tying up her long hair. Classmate Chin, you're in charge of washing the fish first. I blushed and nodded. As I took the fish, which the vendor had already cleaned, out of the bag, I asked softly, why did you think of cooking today? Once we get more familiar, I can cook for you all the time. I froze for a second. My heart suddenly started pounding. Damn it, I have a feeling. Even if she grew a furry tail right now and said she wanted to eat me, I wouldn't even resist. 2.5 minutes later, I handed the washed fish to He Fang. He Fang pointed to the bag next to her. Then go peel the potatoes. I'll handle the fish. I nodded. Picking up a potato, I also paid attention to her hand movements. Fang laid half of the fish flat on the cutting board. One small hand pressed down on the fish's tail. The other hand swiftly slid the knife across. And then, paper-thin slices of fish were cut out. For some reason, I was a bit worried about her cutting like that. If she slipped, she'd cut her finger. And she was slicing so fast. It's too dangerous. I need to warn her. Thinking of this, I was about to speak. What's wrong? Done peeling the potatoes? Fang didn't stop her hands. She even turned her head to look at me. Nothing. I was a bit on edge. Focus on what you're doing. Ignore him. This fish is huge. Half of it is enough for the dish. Fang stopped slicing the fish. She turned and started chopping vegetables. Put the other half in the freezer. Keep the fish head. Oh, right. While you're at it, see if there are any pickled greens in the fridge. Let's eat the leftovers first. I clasped my hands together. I'm begging you. Chop the veggies seriously. Stop talking. Fang finally turned her head. She put the fish meat into a large bowl and started looking for seasonings. The corners of her lips curled up slightly. She seemed to be in a really good mood. I stood to the side, peeling potatoes. Watching the scene, I zoned out a bit. Even her humming sounded so beautiful. I wonder what song this is. Why are you just standing there? Are the potatoes done? Why are you just standing there? Are the potatoes done? If they're done, go soak the dried wood ear mushrooms. How much? A big handful or a small one? These things expand a lot when soaked. A big handful and a small handful make a world of difference. Why don't you just go wash the veggies? I'll do it. How's it going, sweetie? Are you tired? Should I come in and give you a hand? This brat doesn't know anything. Mother Chin was standing at the kitchen door again, watching the two of us bustling about in the kitchen with a bright smile. I really don't need help, Auntie. I'm doing just fine. Fang grabbed 2 small handfuls of wood ear mushrooms and dropped them into the basin. We're doing really well, right? Right. I quickly chimed in. That's good. You two keep at it. I won't bother you anymore. Mother Chin laughed and turned away, thinking to herself, this is good too. Gives them a chance to bond. Fang took the sliced fish and marinated it with spices and cornstarch. She reached out her tiny hand, massaged it for a bit, and set it aside. Then she took the potato Chin Guanglin had peeled and started julienning it. The cleaver chopped against the board, making a rhythmic thwack-thwack sound. My mom once praised her knife skills. I didn't expect her to be this good. The cleaver in her hand seemed to have eyes of its own. The long, thin potato strips were done in a flash. Did you used to work in a restaurant kitchen? I couldn't help but ask. Guess? Fang turned her head and tucked a strand of hair behind her ear with the back of her hand. Getting to see teacher. He's awesomeness again? Huh? Could you be the snail fairy? I looked at her side profile with doubt. I realized she looked incredibly beautiful wearing an apron and chopping vegetables. What if I am? Would you still like me? Fang flipped the fish head and tail. She tilted the back of the knife and smashed them a few times. Then wouldn't you have to go back to the Luo River to sleep at night? What else? Fang retorted. Or you could put a fish tank in your bedroom. I'll sleep in your room, okay? Or better yet, just sleep on your bed? No way. I blushed bright red and shook my head vigorously. Girls should be modest. You can't joke about this kind of stuff all day. Before I could finish, a slice of cucumber was suddenly stuffed into my mouth. Fang mimicked my posture and asked softly, so, do you think I'm pretty? I carefully looked at Fang again. Her wearing an apron. Very pretty. Then why? Why would you reject a gorgeous girl throwing herself at you? My figure isn't bad either. Wouldn't it be nice if I stayed and warmed your bed? I jumped in shock. My mom absolutely cannot hear this. Seeing a girlfriend with such top-tier specs, a guy with extensive experience in the battlefield of love. I never dared to think about things like her figure. Hearing her say that, I couldn't help but take a peek. This woman definitely planned this all out. I looked at Fang's serious face. I felt an indescribable emotion in my heart. My hands were itching like crazy. I really want to draw this scene. Very quickly. Dishes exuding mouth-watering aromas were brought to the table. Oh my, it smells amazing just from a whiff. Mother Chin looked at the dishes on the table, grinning from ear to ear. You've worked hard, Fang. Hurry and sit down. Thank you, Auntie. Then her tone suddenly changed. She pointed at me. Let Xiao Lindsay serve you some rice. Mother Chin couldn't stop praising the meal as she ate. It looks good and tastes even better. You cook way better than I do. Where did you learn to cook like this? I used to cook for myself a lot. Xiao Lindsay is really in for a treat in the future. Delicious, delicious, delicious. I exclaimed while chewing. Interrupting my mom, Fang is really amazing. If you like it, Auntie, I'll cook again next time. Oh my, this child is just. And you? It's your birthday. Fang made a whole table of food like this. Have you even said thank you? Auntie, there's no need to be so polite. Guanglin treats me very well. This is nothing. Damn it. She called me Guanglin again. I felt my face burning up. I could only bury my face in my bowl. Hurry up and eat, before it gets cold. Less than 2.5 minutes later, A bowl of rice was completely wiped clean. I was just about to stand up. Fang reached out her hand again. Your bowl is empty. Let me get you some more. Thanks. Looking at her back as she served me rice, I felt a bit dazed. During the days we've spent together recently, she's shown nothing but her good qualities and her affection for me everywhere. Comparing us, I can't even find a single decent quality in myself. Why would such an amazing person set her sights on me? Could it really be because of that face-reading stuff? Why would such an amazing person set her sights on me? Could it really be because of that face-reading stuff? Dinner ended. I stood by the sink, just about to roll up my sleeves. Fang pushed me aside. This is my time to shine. Don't get in the way. Fang threatened in a low voice. You'll have plenty of time to wash them in the future. I was speechless for a moment. Then I sneaked a glance at my mom in the living room. Then I turned my head and whispered, I like you. Fang turned her head. She clearly hadn't processed it yet. I super duper like you. I whispered, adding to it. Then I landed a direct kiss right on her cheek. Fang stopped washing the dishes, looking a bit in disbelief. Then her little cheeks flushed red. She tilted her head and replied, I super duper like you too. She stood on her tiptoes and leaned in close. A soft jolt of electricity swept past, instantly spreading through my entire body. After speaking, since when did classmate Chin learn this move? Fang flashed a sly smile. Where did you learn to be so naughty? You're the one who taught me. I felt my face burning. Fang blinked. She leaned close to my ear again and whispered, wait until we're done cleaning up. Teacher, he will give you a proper lesson. No need, I don't need it. I took a step back, shaking my head in refusal, thinking to myself that the lesson she mentioned definitely wasn't anything decent. I really don't need it, then don't regret it. No need, no regrets. Just as I finished speaking, then don't regret it. No need, no regrets. Just as I finished speaking, my old mom suddenly popped out. I'm going out for a walk. You two be good and play at home. I tried to act calm. It's getting dark. Where are you going for a walk? Auntie Wang called me to go stroll around the night market. Oh right. It's not safe for a girl to be out alone at night. Make sure you walk Fang home when she leaves. I know. I'll definitely walk her home. The sound of the door closing echoed. Mother Chin had gone out. I turned my head to look at Fang. Do you want to go stroll around the night market? There's nothing to do at home anyway. Nah. I'm a bit tired from playing all day. I'd rather go rest in your room. My girlfriend is asking me to sleep with her, and even said she wants to give me hands-on teaching on how to ravage her. So it was just a moment ago. I poured a glass of warm water and went back to my room. Fang was lying on the bed, spacing out. Want some water? Fang hummed in agreement and sat up. She stretched her neck and leaned in close. I brought the glass to her face, watching her take a small sip and lick her lips. For some reason, I felt my face burning up. No more. Fang turned and lay on her side on the bed, propping up her little head with her hand. If you don't feed me a bite, I feel unbalanced inside. I was a bit puzzled. What do you mean unbalanced? Lie down and I'll tell you. Fang patted the empty space on the bed right in front of her. Out of habit, I got defensive. A lone man and a lone woman in the same room, and we have to lie on the same bed. She's definitely about to tease me again. I'm not lying down. Just say it. I'm not going to do anything to you. Why are you so tense? Fang's voice was a bit lazy. I hesitated for a moment, slowly lay down on the edge of the bed. Okay, I'm lying down. Don't try anything funny. Fang reached out her little hand. Look how hard I've tried. Shouldn't you treat me a little better? How am I not treating you well? My face felt the coolness from her little hand. I couldn't help but reach out and hold it. I just want to lie down and rest for a bit, but I still have to be on guard against you. Fang pouted. I'm just afraid you'll do something. I blushed, suddenly not knowing how to express myself. Are you afraid I'll hurt you? Don't worry. I'll let you take the initiative. Are you afraid I'll hurt you? Don't worry. I'll let you take the initiative. Don't worry. I'll let you take the initiative. Take the initiative for what? I secretly inched toward the edge a bit. I feel like I'm about to lose my innocence. Do you need teacher he to give you hands-on instruction? Fang said while leaning in closer. She even used her index finger to lightly scratch the back of my hand. No need, I struggled to sit up, looking panicked. Then tell me, how should I treat you better? I was momentarily speechless. I really didn't know exactly what to do. You can't say it, can you? Fang had a knew you couldn't say it look on her face. And you said you didn't need me to teach you. I just know I have to make you happy. I held Fang's hand, hesitating for a moment. I brought it up and gently kissed the back of her hand. Whatever you want, I'll give it my all for you. Fang froze slightly. Then she opened her arms, her face full of tenderness. Then kiss me. I slowly propped myself up. The atmosphere right now was completely different from when we were on the yacht. I felt everything was very natural. There was no more of that tension from back then. Only a feeling of my heart fluttering. There wasn't that numbing, electric shock feeling of the first time. It just felt soft and fragrant. Pausing for about 2 seconds, I immediately pulled back. I opened my eyes to look at this little angel in front of me. Someone as radiant as a rainbow. Only after meeting her did I know someone like this existed in the world. Fang slowly opened her eyes. She blinked at me. That's it? I was a bit dazed. Is that not enough? I was a bit dazed. Is that not enough? Fang was also stunned. Turns out this isn't something guys are born knowing. Know what? Turns out this isn't something guys are born knowing. Know what? You tricked me. What did I trick you about? Fang pondered. Then she sighed and lay back down. That's true. You wouldn't trick me. You just haven't figured it out yet. Too small? I was a bit dissatisfied. You're clearly 2 years younger than me. Why are you calling me small? Fang froze slightly. Fang froze slightly. Then she giggled. Why are you so adorable? Oh man, I just keep laughing today. My mouth hurts from laughing so much. Then, stop laughing. What's so funny? Because you're my boyfriend. Just seeing you makes me happy. Hearing Fang's words, I felt like my heart skipped a beat. Then thinking about it, it seems to be true. I also feel really happy when I see Fang. Then hold it in. Stop laughing. I can't hold it in. Fang rolled around on the bed twice. Don't keep making me laugh with your silliness. Wait until teacher he gives you some extra tutoring. Fang held her stomach and looked at me. Now, please go to sleep with teacher he first. Classmate. Sleeping together? Isn't this a bit inappropriate? I scratched my head, still a bit shy. Thinking to myself that she's lying on her back right now. If I want to hug her, I'd have to press down on her. Hurry up and lie down next to me. Hurry up and lie down here. Fang reached out and tugged at my sleeve again. Then you can't do anything weird. I hesitated, then lay down. Fang immediately snuggled into my arms, wiggling her soft body, finding a comfortable position. She buried her head in my chest. I'll just rest like this for a bit. If I fall asleep, remember to wake me up a little after 8. I hummed in response, then slowly lowered my arm that was raised midair, tentatively placing it on Fang's back. I looked down at her. My heart gradually became peaceful. A faint fragrance lingered around my nose. I don't know if it's the smell of shampoo or body wash. Anyway, it smells really good. A small, soft, fragrant body. Holding her in my arms felt exceptionally comforting. There was an urge to hold her tight. This is what they call warm fragrance and soft jade, right? I thought to myself. Suddenly, Fang raised her leg in my arms, rubbing it upward. I jumped in shock. No, I'd better think about something else. Fang is a literature major. The inner emotions of people in creative fields are actually very delicate, complex, and sensitive, and painting is also a form of creation. People like us actually don't like hanging out in overly noisy and bustling environments. Don't like dealing with all sorts of social relationships. Just like to quietly think or create alone. You could say we're extremely solitary. Maybe it's exactly because of this, that when the two of us met, we produced such a magical chemical reaction, and we're so sluggish, lost in thought. I felt like I had guessed the truth. This explanation makes perfect sense. Otherwise, it's impossible to explain why we progressed so fast. During dinner, I even almost had an illusion that she and I were actually family. Based on our current progress, future matters must be carefully planned. Quickly finding a stable job is also an absolute necessity. My mind was constantly thinking about future plans. I don't know how much time had passed. My phone suddenly rang. A ding interrupted my train of thought. My mind was constantly thinking about future plans. I don't know how much time had passed. My phone suddenly rang. A ding interrupted my train of thought. I grabbed my phone and opened it to check. The message was from Sun Wen, my college roommate. Old Lin, are you looking for a job? You want to find a stable job? Planning to recommend a place for me? Coincidentally, the studio I'm working at is hiring right now. Just happened to see you post a status. Want to give it a shot? What kind of studio? It's for comics. It's not a big studio or anything, but the products they put out are all high quality. I think the development prospects are pretty good. You can think about it. I'm not very familiar with the comic industry. Is it doing line art, drawing storyboards, and stuff like that? I do the post-production coloring. With your skills, drawing detailed drafts won't be a problem. Wait until I go to work tomorrow. I'll take some pictures for you to see. Thanks in advance. Where's your studio? How about I drop by tomorrow to check it out? We can grab a meal together while we're at it. Wait a sec, I'll send you the address. Wait a sec, I'll send you the address. Wait a sec. A few brief sentences and it was settled. I put my phone down and hugged Fang again, thinking about tomorrow's schedule. What time is it now? Fang had woken up at some point. She asked with half-open eyes. It's only 7:30. You can sleep a little longer. That's great. Fang's little hand tightened around my waist a bit more. I can still hug you for a while. Yeah, that's great. I stroked her back, completely agreeing. Is it comfortable hugging me? Fang still had her eyes closed tight, curled up in my arms without moving. Very comfortable. I really like it. I gently hugged her a little tighter. I also really like being hugged by you. You. Stop moving. You. Stop moving. It's not like I can control it just because I want to. Focus. Distract myself. I have to distract myself. I closed my eyes. As a result, all that flashed through my mind was Fang's little mouth, her fingers with a bit of saliva on them. My face got redder and redder. I couldn't even help but gulp. You're not being honest. Fang suddenly spoke up. I felt a bit guilty. How am I not being honest? I felt a bit guilty. If you weren't thinking dirty thoughts, then why is it like this? He Fang's gaze looked down behind her, glancing at the thing that was making her uncomfortable. Then she opened her mouth and bit down. If you're not good, I won't let you hug me anymore. He Fang got up and walked toward the door. I'm going to the kitchen to check on the pickled radishes. I raised my arm and looked at the bite mark on it, thinking to myself that this is too embarrassing. He Fang hasn't even graduated yet. How could I be so despicable? I need to find something to do to distract myself. Let's look up what a comic studio actually does. I lay on my stomach on the bed, scrolling through my phone. 2.5 minutes later, I don't know when He Fang came back. She was standing silently behind me, watching me. Turning my head, I jumped in shock. Why did you come back in? And like this? He Fang looked at me without saying a word. Just kept smiling at me like that. Stop laughing. My reaction is perfectly normal. I was a bit embarrassed and got defensive. I didn't say anything. He Fang smiled and leaned closer. Anyway, I'm not the one who's uncomfortable. You're still talking. I turned my back in frustration, deciding to ignore her. He Fang suddenly reached out her little hands, then slowly lay down on her stomach. All right, then I won't say anymore. Are you graduating at the end of June? I was a bit shy and changed the subject. Didn't you say you wanted to be a teacher? Summer vacation starts in July. It must be hard to find a job during that time, right? Then I won't rush to find a job. I'll rest for 2 months first. He Fang seemed to have no pressure at all. I nodded. Then I realized a very serious problem. Then are you going back to your hometown for those 2 months? Hecheng isn't far from Luocheng, but they are still 2 different cities after all. Meeting up would probably be too inconvenient. Do you want me to go back? Of course I don't. I lowered my voice, suddenly feeling a bit selfish. Going back to your hometown for summer vacation is perfectly normal. What could she even do staying at my place? Once she leaves school, she can't stay in the dorms either. If she stays, she'd have to worry about food and accommodation. I can only hope she can smoothly find a job in Luocheng. I don't have to go back. He Fang suddenly spoke up. He Fang leaned forward a bit, getting closer. Classmate Chin, you might want to rephrase that. I might just choose not to go back to my hometown. I was stunned. Rephrase that? What does she want to hear me say? Because I want to see you often. I asked tentatively. What else? Because I can't bear to be apart. I was a bit shy. What else? Because I can't bear to be apart. I was a bit shy. But my intuition told me it must be this sentence. I can't bear to let you go. I just spoke, while looking down and holding He Fang's little hand, squeezing it gently. He Fang leaned closer, suddenly kissing me on the cheek, then lifting my face up. I can't bear to be apart from you either. Super duper can't bear it. I was a bit excited. Then you. He Fang didn't give me a chance to continue, throwing herself completely into my arms. I still have to go back for a trip first anyway, but I won't stay home for too long. I was a bit worried. Then what if you can't find a job? You can't stay in the dorms, so can you sleep at my place? Stop joking around. I'm thinking seriously. I gripped He Fang's arm tightly with a very serious expression, but then I remembered. He Fang is a very organized person, so I asked again. Have you already figured it all out? Of course, I'm teacher He after all. Everything is under control. He Fang's words confirmed my guess. So classmate Chin, you can rest assured now. Have you already figured it all out? Of course, I'm teacher He after all. Everything is under control. So classmate Chin, you can rest assured now. 2.5 minutes later, I glanced at my watch. It's already 8:30. Let me walk you home. It's not good to be out too late. Let's stay for another 5 minutes. He Fang replied lazily. After 5 minutes, she asked for another 5 minutes. After going out the door, I handed her a jacket. It's cold at night. Put this on while we walk. Big improvement. Worthy of praise. He Fang put the jacket on, then turned and grabbed my hand, walking toward the bus stop. The moonlight was very bright. There weren't many people on the street. Our shadows stretched long behind us. As we got closer to the streetlight, they gradually shrank, then folded forward, our intertwined hands, gently swinging with each step. Even though I wasn't used to being this intimate outside, but being in love is so wonderful. I secretly observed He Fang. You're so good at fortune telling. Then try predicting what I'm going to do tomorrow. He Fang's expression was full of hidden meaning. Call me teacher He and I'll tell your fortune. No way, give it up. Then I won't tell your fortune. I'll find a way to make you call me that anyway. You care about me after all. I don't believe it. Let me think. He Fang suddenly turned her head. How about this? From now on, you're not allowed to call me He Fang anymore. Then what should I call you? I was a bit stunned. Thinking about it carefully, I usually just say you this, you that. Otherwise, I call her He Fang. Figure out what to call me yourself. Anyway, you can't call me by my name. He Fang sat in her seat, smugly lifting her chin. Once you figure it out, you have to tell me, and I have to agree to it. Should I copy others and call her baby, darling, honey? Absolutely not. I might as well just call her teacher He. Should I copy others and call her baby, darling, honey? Absolutely not. I might as well just call her teacher He. No, I can't let her be so smug. I decided to temporarily stop calling her anything. If there's something to say, I'll just say it directly. Why do I necessarily have to call her name? I played with the soft thing in my hand. So annoying. Seeing her small, soft hand. It feels so nice to touch. Is this similar to a foot fetish? Is this similar to a foot fetish? Feeling that these small, white hands look cuter the more I look at them. Suddenly feeling the urge to kiss them. It's probably not too perverted, right? I like Fang as a person. Her hands are also a part of her. It's perfectly normal for me to like them. Not to mention she's my girlfriend. But after I secretly kissed them, I looked up and met Fang's meaningful gaze. I blushed and turned my head away, pretending nothing happened and looking out the window on the other side. Cold on the outside, hot on the inside. Fang found it a bit funny. Sooner or later, I'll straighten you out properly. Straighten what out? I couldn't help but ask. Fang smiled brightly. Nothing. Classmate Chin, you're very good. Mumbling so people can't hear clearly and refusing to repeat it. That's too wicked. Soon, the bus arrived at the stop. I held Fang's hand and slowly walked toward the school. There were still quite a few people here at night, not like around my house, where you barely see any pedestrians. Do you want to buy some food to take back? I looked at the supermarket nearby and asked. We ate dinner too early. You might get hungry later tonight. No need. Eating late at night will make you fat. Fang shook her head seriously. I looked her up and down. You're not fat. That's why I have to keep my figure. Otherwise, I won't look good in dresses anymore. Fang grabbed the hem of her little skirt, seemingly very satisfied with her current figure. Once I become a teacher, I won't be able to wear them all the time. Now I have to wear them for a few more days. True, I blushed and nodded. Even though I personally think she looks beautiful, no matter what she wears. Chatting as we strolled to the bottom of her dorm building, Fang took off the jacket and draped it over her arm. Go on up. I handed her small backpack to her. My other hand reached out to take the jacket back, but I saw Fang holding it tightly, refusing to let go. What's wrong, classmate Chin? Did you forget something? What? Classmate Chin, did you forget something? Forget what? I was bewildered. Forget what? Fang suddenly leaned in close, pointing at her little mouth, reminding me. I froze for a moment, immediately remembering what I promised her. Every day when we first meet and when we part ways, we have to kiss. I nervously looked around, making sure there weren't many people around. I took a deep breath, waited for the right moment and leaned in, giving Fang a quick peck, then springing back a step like a coil. Fang handed the jacket back. Only then did she put on a satisfied expression and start saying goodbye. Be safe on your way back. I'm going up. Watching her turn and go upstairs, I stood rooted to the spot like an idiot, casually throwing the jacket over my head. The wind is a bit cold tonight. Arriving home, after greeting my mom, I lay down on my bed and finally felt a bit exhausted, recalling everything that happened today. I don't know why. I started to miss that small, soft body a bit. If only I could hug her to sleep every day, that would be great. I slept until broad daylight. When I opened my eyes again, it was already 9 a.m. I grabbed my phone and scrolled through it. Fang was just like every other day. Sent me a good morning text a little after 8. At the same time, Sunwen had also sent over his company's address. After waking up, brushing my teeth, washing my face, I left the house and headed to the meeting spot. It was only 10:30. There was still half an hour until the agreed time. With nothing to do, I opened the information about the company Sunwen sent. The comic studio was founded less than 2 years ago, even though they only had about a dozen employees. But the boss's business skills were very solid. They had already secured the comic adaptation rights for a few novel IPs that were quite famous. The development prospects were quite broad. Not long after, a man with an extremely burly appearance appeared in my line of sight. Not long after, a man with an appearance that was extremely burly appeared in my line of sight. Hey, long time no see. This person was Sun Wen, my college roommate, even though he had Wen in his name. He was a textbook big, burly guy. Anyone who saw him couldn't possibly associate him with a job that requires delicacy like painting. Associate them together. Not as tone as before. Lack of exercise, you know. After graduating, I stopped working out. Sun went threw his arm around my neck and asked with a smile, should we eat first or go check out the studio first? It's been a while since we met. Of course we're eating first. I looked around. I'm not very familiar with the streets around here. You picked the spot. There's a place over there I've been to before. The food is pretty good. Sunwin put his arm around my shoulder and dragged me forward. Why do you suddenly want to find a job? To make some extra income? Of course. Otherwise, it's too unstable. Sigh. You're still not satisfied with your situation. How about we trade places? I wouldn't complain about it being unstable. Sunwin sighed a bit. Back then, our dorm agreed you had the best drawing skills. You don't need to go to work. Just taking commissions is enough to live comfortably. You don't need to go to work. Just taking commissions is enough to live comfortably. Free, independent, and relaxed. I found it a bit funny hearing that. You can try staying home and taking commissions. It's not like I haven't tried. People didn't like my art style. I'd starve to death, staying at home. Sunwen pouted. He led me into a restaurant and we sat down. What a shame. I still have to go to work later. Otherwise, I would have had a few drinks with you. I hurriedly waved my hand. Forget it. You know my alcohol tolerance. I still have things to do this afternoon. Ha ha ha. It's exactly because I know that I want to drink with you. Anyway, you're coming here to work now. There'll be plenty of chances in the future. Get lost? I'm just here to check it out. I don't even know if I'll take the job yet. Sun Wen picked up the teapot and poured water. Very confident. You'll see later. I guarantee it'll be a good fit. Is it convenient to just go up and look around? I hesitated a bit and asked. Originally, I just planned to look over the job description and then make a decision. Either it's an easy, relaxed job, or it has to have technical elements and room for promotion. Otherwise, working like this is pointless. I might as well just stay home. You're going for an interview. Just ask whatever you need to during the interview. It's a mutual learning process, but I can guarantee, if you want the job, you'll easily get in. The important thing is whether you want it or not. Sun Wen was full of confidence. Then he leaned in close to me, looking sly. The studio has a few beauties who are still single. Seeing his vulgar look, I found it a bit funny. I'm not interested. If you like them, go hit on them yourself. I already have a girlfriend. I gotta find a way to help my bro out. Sun Wen acted like he was looking out for his good bro. What a coincidence. I have one too. Sun Wen's tea-drinking motion suddenly stopped. Are you serious or joking? I don't believe my college roommate actually has a girlfriend. The guy looked shocked. Are you serious? Do you have a picture of your girlfriend? Let me see. No, I calmly shook my head. No way I'm showing you. Then you don't have one. Sun Wen pouted. A guy like you who stays cooped up at home drawing all day actually managed to get a girlfriend? Give it a rest. I don't need you to play matchmaker. I really have one. I didn't even bother arguing. This guy loved playing matchmaker back in school. Every time he got a new girlfriend, he'd drag her besties out to introduce to us. I really don't know where he got all that energy. Whatever, if you don't need it, fine. Sun Wen downed the tea in his cup. Then he remembered something. Oh, you Faye. That kid seems to be getting married soon. They're picking a date. How much do you think we should give for a wedding gift? I think 300 to 500 is fine. Whatever you feel like. We'll get it back when we get married anyway. It's just a formality. Sun Wen nodded. The way I see it, around 200 is decent enough. There are still so many of our bros who aren't married yet. Giving to each one of them will add up to a huge amount. Whoever gets married last is the unluckiest. I paused for a moment, suddenly finding it a bit funny. Wait until they have kids. We'll have to do another round of gifts. Got it? In the future. I'll discuss it with my future wife. We'll get married once a year. The big guy Sun Wen started laughing slyly again. At this moment, the phone on the table suddenly rang. The message was from He Fang. Have you eaten yet? I'm eating. What about you? I just finished eating. I miss you. I have some things to do outside. I'll come find you this afternoon. Let's do it another day. I have to write my thesis today. All right. I miss you too. I know. Eat up. Look at that goofy smile on your face. I can tell right away. Your girlfriend texted you. You're the one with the perverted smile. I'm such an upright person. Haha. Look at that goofy smile on your face. I can tell right away. Your girlfriend texted you. For sure. You're the one with the perverted smile. I'm such an upright person. I looked up with a serious expression and found him looking at me too. Suddenly, we both burst out laughing. Our friendship seemed just as intact as it was in college. After eating, we sat and rested for a bit. Sun Wen stood up and led the way back to the company. It's still lunch break right now. I'll take you up to the company to look around and rest for a bit, and then you can interview when work starts. Sounds good. This studio isn't what I imagined. Usually small studios like this. Just rent a 3-bedroom apartment, decorate it a bit, set up the necessary equipment, and that's it. But what appeared before my eyes was a large office space. The people inside were leisurely chatting, or resting their heads on their desks, or holding pens and writing something. At a glance, it looked quite stylish. Not like regular companies where everything is so orderly and serious that it makes you feel suffocated. The colleagues are all young people. The oldest is only 25. The atmosphere is really great. Sun Wen enthusiastically introduced. Right now, our studio mainly draws a few short films to collaborate with platforms. The other part is preparing for long-form stories, going down the multimedia route. Wait a bit, the boss will probably. Before he could finish, a fairly well-dressed young man pushed the door open and walked in. Sun Wen hurriedly pulled me up. Guanglin, let me introduce you. This is our company's boss, Chen Rui. Boss Chen Rui flashed a bright smile, seemingly having anticipated this. Qin Guanglin, right? I've heard so much about you. Hello, Boss Chen. A pleasure, a pleasure. Then let's go into the meeting room inside to talk. The test will also be conducted right there. I nodded. No problem. An hour later. Sun Wen sat at his desk, starting to get a bit nervous. They've been in there for an hour. Why hasn't there been any movement? Could this guy have gotten too nervous and messed it all up? Just as he was thinking that, the door to the meeting room next door made a sound. Sun Wen hurriedly leaned in. You're finally out. How did it go? I nodded, said that if it works out, I can start in a few days. mainly in charge of drawing drafts. I reply that I need to think about it, and I'll give him an answer in 2 days. All right, think it over carefully. Thanks for today. I glanced at the time and decided not to bother Sunwon anymore. Have a good time at work. I'm heading back first. I'll treat you to a meal when you're free. I took the elevator downstairs and walked toward the bus stop, thinking to myself that tomorrow I have to ask Fang to read my fortune to see if this job is reliable or not. Anyway, I personally think it's decent. As I walked past a small shop, I suddenly noticed a few small items inside. I walked in and looked around and picked out a red panda hair tie. For some reason, I just had a feeling Fang would like it. It seems like everyone is like this when they first fall in love. When you see delicious food, you want to bring it back for the other person to taste. When you read a good book, you want to recommend it to them. When you find something fun, you want to experience it together. When you see nice clothes, you wonder if they would look good in them. That is love.